Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode 243. Not a lot happened this past week, but we're still here anyway to talk about some gaming stuff. We have the Activision situation that's getting stranger. We got Halo Infinite to talk about because they tried to hold their first live event and it didn't go as planned, I think. And then we'll talk a little bit about that big remake that is currently being rumored. And then I'm sure all kinds of other random stuff as we go off on tangents. We are missing RGT tonight. He's busy doing nothing.
Something about chicken. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, her name is Nothing. Oh, okay.
and then Click is actually off celebrating holidays and all of that with family. So they'll be back next weekend, I'm sure there. But Miss Click did want me to remind everyone that she posted up on her Twitter. There's a really cool event that she's doing on December 3rd, 1 p.m. Eastern. She's hosting a live Q&A panel and artist autographs with the Super Mario Squad. So make sure you check out over on her Twitter for more information about that one. Just so she has her link in her bio for that. So make sure you check that out. That'll be next Friday. Go by, support Click there. Today, though, I am joined by MVG. How we doing, MVG?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
MVG just made it in time. His Windows computer decided to be Windows, but he got it worked out. So he is here. We have OJ, Player Essence. How we doing, OJ?
Doing pretty good. I punched a demon in the face this weekend.
Good. And then you played Shin Megami Tensei?
Yeah, it was one than the other. I was inspired by him, therefore I emulate him.
Yes.
So it's fun. Good. You just punch him in the face.
And then we have Dreamcast guy surviving the Resident Evil movie.
Jesus, just barely. Oh God, I'm glad we're not speaking on that because it's pure cringe.
Yeah, no, none of that tonight. We can only hear so much about that. And we have Jordan Fringe.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good to have Jordan here. And we have Nate the Hate.
Yes, I was watching the Beatles get back earlier, and then I realized part 1 is 2.5 hours, and I wish I had started it at 6:30 and not 8 o'clock.
Nate, what is that like? I'm as a Beatles fan, I'm very interested.
I'm loving it. From the first half of part 1 that I've seen, I mean, it's really, they're recording their recording sessions for a TV show that they want to hold. So you get to see the creative process of them writing the songs, having the conversations. You also see the frustration that the group was in at this time. And you can see like George Harrison getting so fed up with John Lennon kind of being a dick, Paul McCartney just being the workaholic that he is, and Ringo just kind of chills in the back and bangs on his drums. But as a Beatles fan, absolutely give it a watch.
Okay. And then we have Evan.
Yep.
Evan hanging out tonight. He'll talk some Halo, of course, and take care of the chat and all that. So we do have next weekend. We do have a special guest joining us. I'll leave that up for the mystery until then. So make sure you guys stop by next weekend as well. Let's go around here first. Actually, we had Black Friday. Cyber Mondays on Monday, obviously, but like we had Black Friday. We get any good pickups? Anything good? What we got?
I didn't realize somebody on Twitter was saying that you. Like every time you go to GameStop, you earn these points, and the points can be converted to dollars. So I didn't realize that I technically had like hundreds of dollars of GameStop credit. So I converted that, and I finally got what's Astral Chain Physical. I bought a bunch of physical Switch games. They had a buy 2 get 1 free for a couple, and I can't remember what it was. I got a bunch of ones that I already owned digitally. I finally own them physically.
Nice, very good. Yeah, some of the games that just came out were pretty cheap. Like the popular one seemed to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So I think everyone who didn't already have it picked it up, and everyone who did pick it up on release day felt really bad when they saw that it was like $27, $26, whatever.
I got it for it was $25 for like a short period of time on Amazon, like a weird Wario 64, $25, and I was like, oh snap.
They were price matched on the fly on Amazon. So like if they saw something pop up like on a Best Buy, they immediately, I don't know if they had like a computer system setup or algorithm, they immediately switch theirs over to that same price. So if there was like a flash sale, you could see it on Amazon immediately, and it was like just that same price with Prime shipping.
Dragon Quest too. I already have Dragon Quest and beat it on PlayStation and Switch, but it was on Xbox for $15, and then I had a $5 gift card, so then I got it for $10 on Xbox. So I'll check out the Xbox for it.
I did get Tales of Arise for $30. I already have it digitally, but I wanted to have a physical copy of it because the Tales games I notice at times can get kind of harder to find. So I figured, you know what, let's get a physical copy of it on the PS5. It's $30 already, and honestly, that's a great game for $30. It's phenomenal stuff. And I also saw, I don't need it, but I saw Monster Hunter Rise was $25 on the Switch. At Walmart. Like they just had them today. I went by a Walmart to pick up a few things. I look over and they just have a bunch of Monster Hunter Rises there with the purple sticker for like $25. So that's a great deal there. I just picked up a bunch of SD cards. I thought about that Oculus Quest 2 for a minute. It was there. It was like you buy the Oculus Quest 2 and you get a $50 gift card with it. And I thought about it because I don't think Resident Evil 4 is going to go to any other headset, as Nate pointed out. So I'm gonna have to play it there if I want to try it.
Yeah, it can't. Oculus paid for the game. Oculus developed the game, so it will be exclusive unless Oculus decides to be a third-party publisher and bring it to PlayStation VR.
Yep. So that means probably gonna have to get the Oculus Quest 2 or 3. So whenever that comes out.
I still have one just sitting right over there.
I have the first one, but I think the 2 is the one you want for this.
Yeah, I have the just sitting there. Maybe I'll make a video on it one of these days.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna grab it though, and maybe I'll just do a video on it just to do it and be like, look, here's the Quest 2, and just talk about Resident Evil. How about a video out? You can get video out of that thing, can't you? It's like a
Can you actually
record?
You can do that with it?
I think so. I think you can record it. I'll figure it out because I probably will end up getting it. So, what about MVG? You get anything good?
I got Deathloop for 23.
That's good. That's a good price.
23 where?
It was early on in. It wasn't even Black Friday. It was like a week ago.
It was GameStop, wasn't it? Because then they also let you take some off the top.
Yeah.
OJ, you want to keep an eye on Cyber Monday because I bet you some of those prices are going to show back up. I guarantee Deathloop's going to be one of the cheap ones.
Deathloop was 25. So
it was buy two get the third free.
Yeah.
It was 25 on Amazon, and I think it's still 25 right now on Amazon, or $24.99, and I still didn't buy it. I'm gonna buy it.
It's a good game.
It's good. I know. I was just like, oh, okay, maybe it'll be $20. I don't know.
No, it's actually a good game. I enjoyed Deathloop.
Is.
Just that ending wasn't that good, but I think it's worth the pick up there at 20.
So I got that, and I got Guardians of the Galaxy for 25, and I also got Paper Mario for 27. I think it was. So
that's pretty good.
Those 3 games are a good backlog for me over the holidays. So
you got that Far Cry 6?
I couldn't find a copy of it for because I want to get it for like 25. Is it?
Yeah.
I can't get it for 25. I went to Best Buy yesterday, and they had copies there, but they didn't have it for 25. So I'm going to have to wait.
That's one that's probably a good pickup if it falls down to $25. It's still Far Cry. They just didn't do a lot with the franchise necessarily. So 25, we're probably worth the pickup there. What about Nate? You get anything?
I bought another year of PlayStation Plus because I know it expires in 6 months. So I figured I'd get it for $40 before it raises in price next year. Well, full price next year when it expires.
Okay. Getting the basics done there. What about Jordan? You get anything?
No, I really didn't do any shopping for Black Friday and maybe Cyber Monday, but I really haven't been looking.
Okay, and then what about Evan? What'd you get?
Nothing yet. I'm just waiting for Cyber Monday. I'm gonna check some stuff out. Maybe pick some things up for my computer.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the problem. Is finding good PC equipment is difficult now. It's at this point, it's just if the video card is in stock, that's your sale right there.
I mean, that's already covered. At this point, I might as well just grab some more NVMe's. I got 3 more slots in the gaming computer. I can just expand it. It's nice.
There were a couple that were on sale. I know that the SN850, and it might be cheaper on Monday, maybe on Amazon. It was like $165 for the 1 terabyte PCIe 4, and it's very fast. That's the one that people are using the PS5. So the fact that storage just in general is cheap. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I always tell people get storage because it's always marked down. It's worth a pickup there. Evan, you want to start us with a Discord question over there?
I got 2 people asking questions within the same vein. Do we think Nintendo might show the first trailer of the Super Mario Brothers movie at the Game Awards? And if so, do you think Chris Pratt will show up since Jeff Keighley loves Hollywood celebrities?
Probably.
That's a good place to show it, just because, like you said, Jeff Keighley is so interested in making video games like his show, The Oscars of Video Games. Yeah, that's actually a good one because everyone's going to go into that expecting Legend of Zelda, and what a U-turn it would be, or what a What a surprise it would be that instead they show us the first trailer for the Mario movie. Actually, I like that idea.
And also shut up haters like me if it actually is half decent.
People just want to hear what Mario is going to sound like.
It's just going to be Chris Pratt. I'm so ready for disappointment. It's just going to be like, hey, it's me, Mario. Oh, we're going on an adventure.
Hey, it's me, Mario.
Yeah, hello, it is I, the Mario.
The Mario.
The Mario. My wife, the Peach.
Oh, man. We got another score question, Evan?
Does anyone know the best way to play Parasite Eve 1 and 2?
Oh,
PlayStation 1.
I mean, they had it on the. Hold on. Didn't they have it on the store?
He says he can't
Download-
find it on any online service, so he's just wondering if he needs to find a ROM.
Download the emulator known as DuckStation, and just download the ROMs and play it on DuckStation. It's incredible. It's the best PS1 emulator, but hands
Do they
down.
have it on the PlayStation Store?
Someone's saying PS3.
Yeah, I think you can play it on the PS Vita, PS3, PSP.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, if you have a hacked PSP, I actually think a lot of those PlayStation 1 games don't drain the battery very fast, and I think it's cool to play horror games on handheld. So if you have a hacked PSP, that's how I like to play through the. And then you can go straight into Parasite Eve 3.
Get that Vita 1000. That
Exactly.
screen going. Absolutely, that's what I would go with. So let's see. We'll start with the Halo Infinite stuff. So we've played a lot of Halo Infinite this past week. Even Evan hates it and he still played it.
Evan's amazing. Like Evan will kill the entire enemy team 5 times in a row. I'm like, God, I missed one shot. I hate this game.
he'll literally be slaughtering everyone. We're not capping here. He'll be like, this game sucks. Like,
Yeah. He'll pick up a super weapon and literally wipe out like 4 Banshees and then just like, oh God, I'm sick of this. It's like,
I want to play Battlefield.
yeah, exactly.
Except it keeps crashing.
Not for me. I don't know who else it keeps crashing for.
Evan denying nothing. He's
Evan
like,
really likes Battlefield.
I tried to
get
get
Halo. He just won't admit it.
I hate
does like
Halo.
Halo.
I
He
hate
loves going
Halo.
in there and just
It's-
like destroying everyone.
It's just Unreal Tournament on Horse Tranquilizer.
Can you-
It's
can you
so
look at-
slow.
Can you
Horse
look at
tranquilizers.
can you look at all the Halo, Call of Duty, and Battlefield?
Of
and would
all
you
of
say
them,
at
of all
this
of them, the
time-
smoothest would be Halo. I mean, Halo's still missing tons of possible new maps and stuff. And I tried to get my one friend to play it, and he said after his first match, it crashed and he couldn't get back into it. He has no idea why. So
Interesting.
You know,
Can you reboot his
I don't know.
computer?
Evan reminds me of Squidward with the Krabby Patties. You know, I think that's what's going on right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, you actually liked him. You know.
I
we're gonna
really
get
don't.
it out of you, man.
But you know, I gotta do stuff with my work people here. Like, let's.
We all,
It's forcing him to hang out with us.
Evan is like double kill. Oh, that triple kill.
another running riot.
They
It's the
gave,
worst.
they gave me that
need-
stupid thing where I had to get assists. I can't. I can't.
And we got those assists for you.
We got it. We got it for
was
you.
so
Look how
hard.
Evan's like, oh God, I need like 4 assists.
No, in one round you got like 8 at the end. You got a bunch in that last one. You put a few shots on people.
Yeah.
Hit him with the rocket.
Show some gratitude to the team.
He has all the cosmetics armors unlocked because he's constantly getting killing sprees and stuff. So I look like jank, even though we play 3 or 4 hours like every night, and Evan's walking around as this golden god smiting people.
Did you get your challenges all finished, Evan?
No,
So, like,
I
your
still got
weekly
one
one?
more I gotta
Oh.
do. I just gotta get around to it. I'll probably try to do it tomorrow just to do it. But yeah, no, the challenges were not a great idea. That was
The
not-
armor color they give you for the week, because I finished them all up. The weekly one, it's all right, but it's only for that one armor that
Yeah,
what, the
and-
8 or 8.
and
I
the
mean, it looks
colors-
cool. I'm fine with it.
the colors on the thing looked really like bright and clean, so I thought it was gonna look kind of like the MLG skins, but it still looks dusty and old like all the other ones. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
it looks kind of like the default one that half the team is usually in,
Yeah.
but just a few splashes of color here and there. And it's like, I mean, I guess it doesn't look like something where someone looks and goes, "Oh, that looks kind of serious."
That's
Like
the
MVG
problem.
has the armor that's like the matte flat black and some like blue,
Mhm.
right? That actually looks cool. I'm like, oh, okay, that looks pretty serious. But the ones that look like that come out of the cash shop.
I mean, you got even when I suck, I still have to look good, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I did it.
That's how it works.
It's an
Leave a good
interesting
looking corpse.
Hey, MVG was running around out there with a hammer at one point. I saw him. He's crushing some people there in Fiesta. Fiesta, by the way, has been fun. The issue we're running into right now is certainly the progression thing. But it is interesting the way things have changed since the old days of Halo, as has been pointed out by a lot of people online when it comes to the cosmetic side of things. But nonetheless, 343 decided that Halo had to be free to play. All right, so they themselves put the game next to things like Fortnite, even kind of Destiny to a degree, and Call of Duty Warzone, definitely Apex Legends. So they're in this situation where they have to figure out the progression stuff. They're running a live event right now, this Fracture event. It might be one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. It is pretty bad in terms of running a live event. You have to play Fiesta. You get challenges. Every time a challenge completes, you go up a level. The problem is you may not get a challenge to complete for it. You might get some weird thing. Like Evan kept getting some of the strangest challenges. You'd read them all.
There was like kill 20 flag carriers, which is near impossible. The moment you shoot a flag carrier and he just drops it, he's no longer a flag carrier. So good luck.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, you have to basically get them while they're running with the flag. And then you get the strongholds one. It's like, well, okay, how do I do that? Well, you got to go play big team battle and cross your fingers that you get strongholds. And then I was
leaving anything that wasn't stronghold. I'd get in and just immediately leave.
So that makes more sense why I keep seeing so many people drop out of these games. It's probably, and specifically in like quick play, it's probably because people are jumping in, realizing it's not what they need for their challenges, then jumping out.
Well, it's also... So many of the weapon-based ones, like what sucks is that you have to do these challenges for the good XP and for the good unlockable. So I've had times where I get a weak weapon as my daily quest and I have to do it. So I'm picking up the crappiest, stupidest gun in the corner of the map and trying to have like spawn wave weaken them and I finish them off to get the credit. It's stupid that it can't just be like get 10 kills. It's sometimes just the worst things.
The weird thing is that you might do really well, and MVG had a good meme for this. You might do extremely well in a game where you get like 20 kills and like double kills and all these assists, and maybe you control a bunch of points. You get you're really good on the objective side.
Get
and
a
then
tank
it kicks
and
back,
go running riot. Yeah.
And it's like you get 50 experience. It's like, oh, that's it. I got the same as the other people.
Somebody did some math and discovered that you get more XP for kill, or you get more like boosted stuff. You usually unlock stuff for kills more than objectives. So people now are encouraged to not play the objective. Your personal score is always better if you're killing people. Like when we're playing oddball together, I like to be the guy holding the ball because I can run and hide really well, and you guys all defend me. And it sucks that I'll have the lowest score, of the highest points and the lowest score, because y'all are getting like 25, 50 kills. It's really weird.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is there's no reward for winning. Like if your team wins, like it's all about personal kind of achievements, that you're trying to grind and get for yourself. There's no, it doesn't matter if you get destroyed, 3-0 on capture the flag. If you get that challenge, taken care of, then you progress through the ranks.
Yep. And the ranked stuff, I don't even really want to touch unless I have at least like 3 people to jump in and do and play that I know are gonna like at least be able to communicate and work together, because you can get messed up in ranked pretty quickly if you run into the wrong people, basically, who are doing that. So at that point, I'm basically stuck with quick play, Fiesta, those kind of things currently. We need more playlists. That's absolute. Like it's gotta go to Team Slayer, Team Doubles, like the Skirmish. Lone Wolf, they badly need Lone Wolves. That way, if you don't even want to play on a team, you jump in. They usually have like 8 people. They could do 12 people even and just do every person for themselves, basically.
For all the vehicle challenges, the Destruction Derby type stuff, where it's just everyone gets vehicles and go.
Dude, cool. They had so many game types in even Master Chief Collection. Like at one point, I remember one week I jumped on and they were like, "Oh, we're doing Rocket Race."
Yep.
And it's like, oh, that's all. Basically, everyone's just essentially completely overshielded. You're invincible. You all jump on a mongoose and you have to drive this person through different points on the map while they have a rocket launcher shooting the other people. So it's just mayhem, but it's a blast to play. And it's like, I'm waiting for that part of Master Chief Collection to find its way into Halo Infinite, where it's just stupid fun. It does really feel like we're in a beta. I know they're calling it the beta, and we all kind of looked at it as it being a launch. I'm really hoping that December 8th hits and the multiplayer just completely changes.
They've confirmed now that it won't. They released an official statement like 6 days ago, and they said these are the maps for a while. This is the balancing for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got to think that they're done for this year. Like they'll definitely pick it up next year, but I feel like right now this is what we're getting between now and the rest of the year.
Well, I just mean like playlist change. Like, okay, this is now just Slayer and this is Skirmish. Just split those up at least, because half the time you play Skirmish and people just want to play Team Slayer.
Well,
they want to play the
there's
Skirmish.
so many, I guess there's stuff that drives me nuts is that I wish we had like stuff like shoddy snipers. Now that we have a new sniper rifle and a new shotgun, like imagine if we had like the Shockwave and the Shock sniper rifle
The
with the
heat wave and the
like,
coil, yeah.
yeah, I would play that all day. I don't even care if that would give me XP. That'd be so fun. But instead, you just got to hope it comes up in the reel.
Yeah. So we're going to have this event. It's going to come back in January, which the other weird thing about this whole event, you can only get to level 7 right now. And I finished that in like the first day, I think. I just went through all the challenges real quick because I just kept having them pop up here and there. And I was done. So like at this point, I don't have any challenges. I complete a map or a match, I get 50 experience. And that's it. That's all that happens. So now I have to wait till tomorrow. You think they reset on Sunday or Monday? I don't know.
Tuesday. The resets are Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Okay. So Tuesday, I will get more challenges and then I'll be able to level up my battle pass further. I think it's strange that we even run out of challenges. Like what?
Well, you get you get the one that just keeps happening. You have to just play a match and then it gives you 50 XP and that's basically it.
It's very weird. I don't know. Instead, you figure they could just blow up the experience bar to where, hey, it just takes longer to get through it that way anyway. I don't know. It's kind of strange.
So I mean that hits on the biggest problem that is that they've now confirmed that this is all part of season 1 of the multiplayer, and season 1 lasts through May 2nd. So I think it's just the problem of that they are trying to stall us. Like this isn't an accident. This is by design. They are purposely throttling the quests and the XP and the challenges. And it's just like it's working as intended. It's not fun, but it's working as intended.
Well, I'll give him this. The game itself, the shooting, the combat, it all feels really good. Like it is a good game at its core. They need to work out everything else about it when it comes to progression and the online community. Essentially, I feel like once they work that out, they're going to have a really good shooter here, like one that is interesting and worth coming back to. It's tough when you're like, now I'm just stuck, and then I look over and the cash shop has over $1,000 worth of cosmetics. It's like if those were just like in the battle pass, I wouldn't be unlocking an experience booster instead of a piece of armor. So,
and I think they will. I mean, I think they're definitely committed to this, and they will give us those things. But I think like right now we just kind of have to be a little patient. I think until early next year, I think, is when it's really going to start opening up.
Yeah, that's my thought too. It's just, I guess in January when that next Fracture event happens, hopefully they have a bit more to it. I don't know. I feel like something has to be updated at least on December 8th. That's gonna be weird if nothing changes. If it's just still says, it's just still gonna say beta on the front when you load it up.
Maybe they'll take that little JPEG off.
I don't know. That's not sure about that one. What do you think, Nate?
Well, I think that the game isn't very good.
Hashtag delay Halo.
Shut up, you Australian fool. I mean, for me, I play these games not for cosmetics, not for unlockables. I play it for the thrill of having fun and for the chase of victory. I understand why people have problems with the challenges and not earning the cosmetics. But when I play each night for 2 hours or 3 hours a night with everybody, it's because I'm challenging myself to win. And the fact that a lot of the discussion really comes down to, oh, I didn't get this piece of armor, and people are quitting out of playlist because it doesn't match that challenge, is kind of disheartening that no one is just playing the game for the fun of the game. It's, I need to get this item to essentially measure your EPeen. It's to say, I did this before you. I did this to show that I'm better than you. What happened to the thrill and enjoyment of just playing a game and competing with people?
Because I do both.
Nate. Thank you,
Nate. I agree with you, but right now Microsoft and 343 aren't pushing you in that direction because you're getting plus 50 XP when you play a match, and that's it. Doesn't matter if you top the leaderboard, you're going to get plus 50 XP.
But you see, I don't care if they give me 1 XP. I mean, and that's the thing, like, because I don't care about all those extra things. I just want to play the game. Whether you give me 50 XP, 5 XP, I don't care. I just want to play a good match and have fun.
It is.
That's the XP I'm worried about, the FUN XP. And right now the game is delivering that.
Well, okay, so here's my question, Nate. Would you agree that games have changed? This is the big topic we've seen floating around Twitter, is the fact that now people are used to the carrots on the stick and the progression system. Would you say that even though we are all having a blast, do you think that it is lacking, the fact that it's strange that there is this leveling system, but it just seems unfinished?
Yeah, I think the critique towards the progression system are valid. Like, I don't disagree with that. I just find it disappointing that the focus is that people aren't even just enjoying the game for the fun that it is delivering. They're worried about they're not getting a knee pad this week because it's not the challenge in the moment. It's going to be in 3 weeks, and they're upset they didn't get the left knee pad with the right knee pad in the same time window.
Yeah, but to be fair, they are charging us money. Like, the battle pass isn't free now.
Yeah, we pay, yeah. And Sean was complaining because Sean was playing us a lot and he was doing well in matches, and it would say, hey, if you had the battle pass, you'd have a cosmetic by now. And he's like, well, then why are you telling me that?
There's definitely issues, but I see what Nate's saying, just because like I'm kind of the same way. I don't play as much as you guys, but I try to get some matches in between like my videos, processing and stuff like that. And yeah, I just play because it's fun. Because I mean, things have changed. You're right, Dreamcast guy. I think that there's two sides to this. Things have changed. Like obviously, Fortnite came in, PUBG. These games came in. Like, you know, you want to get all your cool and look good, and you want to have a good battle pass. But at the end of the day, like it is kind of disheartening that people are just like quitting out and stuff because like, oh, I didn't get this because you know, it's just like if you could just like play the game and like finish the match, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
just to use them as an example, like I'll go to Nintendo. Let's say Smash Brothers had some sort of progression system, and it was, you have to get a KO with the up smash attack. I'm not going to go out of my way to do that. I'm going to go into the online match to win. If I happen to kill you with the up smash attack, great, I'm going to unlock that thing. But that's not my goal. My goal is to go compete, have fun, and to push myself to get better at the game. And it just feels as though the community is moving away from that ideal, and they're moving more towards getting these unlockables, earning the rewards as if we're at a carnival. And you have to knock the 3 bottles off the pedestal with the baseball so you can get the teddy bear.
Smash doesn't have any online.
It has nothing. It's just
you legitimately no. You have offline stuff that you can do, but there's
nothing online unless you do the tournaments, which is just to push yourself to say, I won that tournament.
Yeah, you don't get it. You don't even get anything for that, you know? So, I mean, I can see, and I've played Smash a ton online when it first came out, and I always just played, just because I wanted to get better at the game. I just wanted to be good at Smash Brothers. So I can see it both sides. But I think, especially with shooters, man, like shooters now, like that's what they do. Fighting games don't do that as much, you know? Like they're not like, oh, I need to, like there's battle passes and stuff, but people aren't really like, because people are super competitive in those fighting games. They just want to win. It's more about that head-to-head battle, where it seems like Halo, it's shifting more towards I want to look this way more so than I want to play and work together as a team and win. I think that's maybe a little bit of an issue for some. I mean, from what I'm seeing, you know.
Yeah, like I said, with the Halo situation, it's the critiques are valid to the progression and how they feel about the battle pass. It's just something like, to me personally, I don't care that much about the cosmetics. I'm fine with just the default armor, and I understand that there's those who really want all those cosmetics. I just find it kind of disappointing that fun for the game itself is a secondary role these days.
I mean, unlockables are fun. Like that's the thing though, is that to me, being able to make the coolest outfit with the craziest colors and then get a headshot increases my enjoyment. So the fact that it's like I can win 1 million matches and I still look like shit, it does kind of diminish it for me.
Absolutely, that's valid. I agree with that. I agree with that as well. I just goes back to like back in the day. You know, we all played Halo back then. Like there was like nothing. There was like you got nothing.
Like we played GoldenEye. You know? We played GoldenEye back in the day. We did for hours. We didn't unlock anything in GoldenEye. What you unlocked was you beat your friend.
Hang on a second.
You unlock characters over time by playing.
Am I crazy that we've been playing every single night for like 3 or 4 hours? I mean, we still love playing the game, don't we?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I'm enjoying just playing the game. The other that supplementary stuff is a non-factor to me.
Yeah, but we should want them to figure it out, Nate, so that the game has long legs and can last.
Absolutely.
But we're talking about, I mean, that's the thing. We're talking about this in the first 11 days, and we're upset that we don't have access to a ton of stuff when we're not even 2 weeks into it.
I mean, we're old.
If we were
boomer
6
gamers,
months and it was still this
bad,
bad, then I think it's something that should be a more vocal critique against them. This is still in the infancy, and we're basically saying, why are you not walking yet?
But haven't we talked about 343 developing this game for what feels like forever now?
They had to fix the graphics though, right? Is that what they took a lot of time to do?
I feel like they
It's
just should have
crazy.
for how long and how much went into this. I feel like they should have showed up with just a little bit more day one, or day zero, I guess.
I can agree with that. Okay.
Because they're the one who made it free to play. I didn't make it free to play. I would have said,
why didn't you make it free to play, John?
Hey, I would have made it so it's like, you know what, you pay the full price for the game and you get it. All the cosmetics are there, whatever. And they'll add stuff as they have time. I wouldn't have thrown it into this games as a service model. So they did, and now they have to try to fit in.
Well, with a games as a
delay
service,
Halos.
when is a game as a service complete? Never. Right?
When they shut down the servers.
Exactly. And Spawn nailed it. That's what a lot of developers have been saying now, is like a game is done when we stop putting out patches. So yes, this game is purposely still rolling out content, but I agree that I wish it had a bigger upfront showing. I would have been happier.
Yeah.
Hashtag delay Halo.
Basically, ever since Call of Duty showed up, Modern Warfare back in the day, and made it so that some bar was always filling up, and you had some kind of guitar riff playing, and they were like, you have all this stuff, and there's stars everywhere. Now people just want stuff to unlock. That's just the way it is.
Story. I was playing COD4 on Christmas break, and I was back in the day, and I was like doing pretty well. My mom was like, "Why is there a rock concert every time something happens?"
Hey, people saw that gave you that adrenaline spike where you're like,
no, it did. I was addicted to that game because that came out 2007. So that was I just got to Fresno State, and I remember just playing that all Christmas break. That was just all COD.
Yeah.
Well,
it was just crazy. All sorts of dopamine rushing to your face.
Gears of War 3 really mastered that, because they would have all these meters fill up, and they would do this real dramatic, like, whenever you unlock a new character, like, guess what? It's the funeral, bitch. And I was like,
Halo's just been slow to get there. I mean, even Battlefield with like Bad Company 2, you were unlocking stuff pretty frequently there too. You were doing a lot with the different guns and the specialists, and like they had RPG elements intertwined with that one. So it's basically Halo's just been. It just has taken them a while to get here, and they just decided to dive in completely with free to play.
I think they're a bit inexperienced. I mean, it's clear that they're inexperienced in this type of thing, right? I mean, I think we could all say that like they're a bit like they don't know exactly how to do like the battle pass formula and all that right now. At least like they're having a little bit of trouble. Hopefully they get better at it though. I think they'll get better.
Well, I want to point out Master Chief Collection started out terrible. Like it was really bad. It didn't even work. And they actually transitioned that over the course of many years into a very, very good game now with its own live service elements attached to it. So like, I do believe that at some point Halo Infinite will get there. I just think it's gonna be a long road. Like I think this is gonna be something that's gonna be ongoing for years and years and years before it becomes like that grand vision that they probably have right now.
The worry with that is that most of us are going to drop off. I mean, John, you'll probably play forever, but like the rest of us won't be playing. Like, let's be honest, 6 months from now, I don't know if I'll be playing Halo Infinite multiplayer. Sure. I might be, but I may not be.
Maybe get you in like once a week or something here and there.
Yeah. I'm gonna uninstall it in like a month. I know myself.
There's so many games coming out next year. It's going to be tough for me to really keep going back to it. But I mean, if you guys want to play, of course, I'll hop on. I mean,
that's their job, is to come out with that's where the cosmetics and stuff come in. They should be able to come up with an event that brings you back in. Something weird. Halo cross Dragon Ball Z.
All right.
And then see, there we go. We're in. All right. Yeah. And then the armor pieces are all Dragon Ball themed. I don't know, something crazy, Get weird with it, right? I mean, hey, they just did Fortnite and Naruto, right?
Yeah, they put Terminator in Gears of War. How that turned
terrible.
Out.
That's so bad. That Naruto Fortnite, it's so bad. Like,
maybe, you know what? Maybe they talk to Nintendo and they get some Metroid themed stuff in there. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Get weird with it. Figure something out that makes people want to run back to the game.
I'll be honest, I'd come back to the game if you see Master Chief and he gets like a taunt where it looks like he's smoking a fat blunt and he's like, I got my big doink ready. I'd probably come back for that.
If there was like a Blinks time sweeper helmet,
See?
I'd
Dude, they could do all that weird stuff. They could cross it over with Perfect Dark when Perfect Dark's coming out. Really what they should do, they should use Halo Infinite, this thing that they build up, as a way to also advertise a lot of franchises coming up, like a Perfect Dark that hasn't had a release in forever. As we're getting closer to its release date, they should have some sort of crossover event with Halo Infinite, big celebration for Perfect Dark, and then lead up to its release. That's what they should use Halo for.
I do want to add that that's the second week in a row that we've had a Blinks time sweeper thing. So I just want to note that we can keep that going. 2 weeks in a row. Let's go, baby.
That's got to be a record.
It's for anybody talking about Blinks.
Yeah.
Blinks. I don't care what you guys say. I like it.
I think IGN was trying to buy Blinks at one point. Technically, nobody owns it. So if somebody spends 10 grand, you can own Blinks. And IGN apparently was like,
let's do it.
Let's how much is it? Let's own it.
So apparently it's pretty cheap because it's like a dead license that's currently like in free domain or like it's one of those things where you can't use it for free right now, but if you buy it, apparently it's cheap. And apparently IGN at one point was trying to be like, could we buy the stupid cat and do something with it?
Jordan's good for it. Jordan, let's go, man.
Why am I good for it? What do I gotta buy?
Jordan,
Let's forget.
Jordan, you been playing Halo? You been playing Halo?
A little bit here and there. I've been pretty busy recently,
Okay.
but yeah, no, I played several matches.
Okay. We gotta get in on like some big team or something.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, all right. There's a lot of work to do with Halo Infinite, so I'm curious. to see what happens on December 8th if anything changes. That's all. Like at this point, we're what 10 days out or something. Yeah, the campaign will unlock, and I'm curious to see how that all works out. Metacritic score, all of these different things. I assume it's going to rate better than Battlefield. I feel like it's going to rate better than Call of Duty. So it'll probably end up being the best shooter of the year, I'm sure. But a lot of work to do on that multiplayer side. I guess the one big thing here is that they got the actual gameplay right. It is a very good game in terms of the gameplay. They just got to figure out the content and all that, and that's something they probably can figure out over the course of next year. So it's just going to be a while.
They were going to try and launch this last year.
That'd have been mayhem. That would have actually been broken, I bet. Yeah, it'd have been ugly. So I am glad that they decided to hold off because it sounds like EA is going to be working quite a bit over the holidays here. So some of the patch notes they're putting out sound ridiculous for Battlefield. So that's going to be, sounds like it's going to be a lot of work. Let's see. Evan, we got a Discord question over there.
Last week we had a question about disc rot, and then I think MVG said yes, and Sean said no at the exact same time, and then we left it there. Just wondering if we can elaborate a little more on it.
Do you have fear of disc rot, MVG?
I don't have fear of disc rot, but I have some CDs that do have disc rot on them, and I mean it's definitely a thing that happens. And before someone says you don't look after your discs, I absolutely do. I mean, most of my collection are in the original dual cases and everything, but there are some situations where I have some disc rot on some of my older games. So yeah, I mean, I think it is real. It's not anything that I would say is a huge concern. I mean, it's not going to just kind of eat all your discs alive and then just render all useless. But there is the occasion where you will get a disc that just won't play, as much as you try, and it's most likely the cause. So yes, I do think it is a thing. So I always tell everyone, if you can back up your games, just do it. It's the easiest way to do it.
The ones that concern me are the GameCube games. That's the one I'm like, if this thing gets disc rot, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Because some of those games, I thought they would come down in price. They keep going up in price. So I'm hoping they continue to live on in the jewel cases. So you got another one there, Evan?
What has a better menu screen song, Cruisin' Blast or Daytona USA?
Ooh,
wow.
That is a tough question.
That's not even a fair question. That's like choosing your favorite kid.
But you could do that.
I can't do that. I have one. Anime's the best.
You need two in this case.
I'm gonna go with Cruisin' Blast. Going with Cruisin' Blast.
I'm going with Blast as well. Yeah.
Come on, I
love
love
throwing
Cruisin'.
Daytona under the bus.
I'm going Daytona. Come on, it's Daytona.
No, but it's Cruising Blast.
Let's go. Come on.
Where's Daytona? That's in Florida, right? I'm choosing cruising.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Daytona.
Got another one, Evan?
With all the crazy games coming out next year, which one do you think to be potentially not good?
Of all the games coming out next year?
Yeah.
Not
Balance.
That one.
That one too.
Potentially not being good. I'm trying to think of which. Like, are we talking like the big AAA? Or
the big
budget
games.
That's my guess, yeah.
Ring and,
Like the major hyped up
PS5
games.
patch, does that count?
No,
I have concerns around I'm gonna say Gotham Knights a little bit.
That's a good
Because
pick.
that is a
Good
lot of
pick.
there's multiplayer included in that. I'm a little concerned about how
yeah.
some of that's gonna work out with the mission structures.
Yes.
That's
So-
the one that concerns me.
What
Someone
about-
dropped Starfield in the chat, and I'm
Yeah, I
going to
was
agree
going
with
to
it.
say that. What about Starfield? Because I mean, it's Bethesda creation engine. You always know they come out.
It's their
And,
new one too.
and you're going to have
That
to
could
wait
be
at least
funny.
2 years for the fans to fix it. So like, I don't know.
I'm gonna
I got a
say,
feeling.
I'm gonna say Starfield is gonna be fun and everyone's gonna hate it.
Go ahead, Jordan.
I'm gonna say Arceus, Pokemon Arceus.
Oh,
People are already kind of
one
hating
could
that
be?
now, though, right? I think people kind of already think it's not going to be good right now.
Yeah, but people are hating it. Oh, might as well mark off the calendar for the biggest sales week ever for the
it's gonna sell-
Wait,
it's gonna
is,
sell well, fine.
is Prince of Persia still coming out next year?
not
That's
even
my game.
Ubisoft knows that anymore.
Oh no, man! But that thing got buried real. Oh man,
Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia. Oh, they showed it and they were like, nah, it's got to go back. Jeez.
Yeah.
Even
Oh,
Ubisoft was like, ooh, those gamers have a point actually this time.
A lot's happening with that game after that showing.
Really, is good or bad? Like, are they just like, no, you know what? We're gonna really make a push for this game. This has to be
It's
good.
for the better, but basically the team that was even working on it basically lost the project. So
Oh, jeez.
they wanted Ubisoft was looking to make a cheap project. What they showed was their intent to bring to market. The reception was so bad that Ubisoft had to panic and say, okay, we're delaying this until an unspecified amount of time because we have to do better because no one's going to buy this game. Oops.
Well, at least they realized that they would probably destroy the Prince of Persia franchise if they released that.
Destroy it.
I mean, it would
How
have
do
been.
you destroy something that's dead?
But I mean, like, we still remember it fondly. When they showed that, we were like, oh, is that what we remember? Was that it, really? Like, the character models just looked off. I mean, the environments, I think, looked all right, but, like, the character models just looked like they didn't belong in that game at all. I mean, if they want to have any chance of reviving that franchise, that I would hope that they could do a good remake.
They've tried. I mean, that Prince of Persia 2008 game, they really tried to make it into a big, thing.
That game was
I liked,
terrible. That game was terrible.
Oh, that game
No.
is good.
It's not a great Prince of Persia game, but it's an alright.
Get it out of here.
Yeah, it's way too easy. I think that's the
Oh,
biggest.
you can't
You couldn't
die.
die.
Yeah.
The game is way too easy.
The visual style and approach that it went with was beautiful.
Yeah, my
It had
biggest
a-
problem was repetitive. Like every
Yeah.
fight with the character was the same boss fight every area
Yeah.
you went, and
Yeah.
it just kept happening. That was its. Like, I like the dialogue. I like the main characters, but
Yeah.
you know.
Sands of Time was the height. That was the peak.
The combat was good, but it was like there was like no reward for anything in that game. Like
Well,
you
hold
got
on.
no reward.
We're
for
just
anything.
playing these games for fun, okay?
Yeah,
How
There's-
dare you
there's-
want something?
there's no progression at all. Like no upgrades. There's no.
Where
anything
was
that
the
you
battle
expect with
pass?
Prince of Persia. There's not even armor. You can't even get different outfits in that game.
You
if I'm
can't get
not
different
correct.
outfits?
You can't get anything. There's like zero. I'm pretty sure there's something. I'm forgetting. I played it a long time ago, but I just remember just feeling after beating. I was just like,
Yeah.
what did I've done nothing. I've done nothing and I've accomplished nothing. Let me just never play this game again.
Yeah. Yeah, I just Sands of Time was like the peak for that.
Yeah, that was
franchise,
peak. Yeah, that was
so
peak.
They can't mess that remake up. That's their best game from the series. So, we'll see how that turns out. I mean, I assume that's not coming out next year. Now, I guess that's 2023. What do you think, Nate? You think they just restarted that whole thing or scrapped most of it?
They're still using some of it. It's just getting more commitment and resources and time and budget to really flesh it out
Okay.
to become a meaningful project, not just a quick cash grab.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We'll see what happens with that, I guess, when they're ready to show it. All right. Let's go to Activision. Nate, you talked about Activision actually in your latest podcast, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and several other companies who have been accused of doing very similar things, but somehow don't get the same press attention.
Are they being sued by California?
They're not being sued by California, but it doesn't mean there may not be means to investigate them further for potential criminal action.
So Activision, Bobby Kotick is still there. He has some kind of clause in his contract from what's been described to me and explained to me, I believe. Right, Nate, is that he's going to get paid either way.
He cannot be replaced. If he's replaced, he has a $300 million parachute. But if he is replaced due to basically justified reason, so a criminal offense, then he would not get the full payout.
So in Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, and even the ESA all had to comment on this at this point. Like everyone had to, and they sent internal emails, but I assume they knew that these things would get out there.
Yeah,
like they just sent it out publicly. They're basically, within
they knew they would be shared.
Someone will be like, "Oh, let me show my buddy who also writes for a website or something," and maybe they'll pass it along. Like they figured that would probably happen, or who knows? Maybe they emailed it to someone else too, like that. But basically, all three of them, Jim Ryan, Phil Spencer, and Nintendo's Doug Bowser, just had to comment on the situation, essentially distancing themselves, or at least removing themselves from proximity of Activision and what they were doing. Nintendo said they had taken action, or they're taking action. I assume they're just going to stop selling Call of Duty now, so we'll find out. But we do have, it was funny because Sony was advertising Call of Duty and then the next day they weren't. I assume that's part of their rotation that was already pre-planned. It was just interesting timing there. And I mean, Microsoft and Sony are big platforms for Activision to sell Call of Duty on. I don't think they're going to stop selling Call of Duty. I am curious what they would actually do other than just email Activision and be like, hey, what's going on here? This looks really bad, and our logo is on your game.
Well, my question is, why wouldn't they stop selling Call of Duty? I mean, Sony has a precedence. They pulled Cyberpunk from the store. I mean, they obviously that was completely different circumstances, but they do have that precedent of actually removing games from their store temporarily. So why wouldn't they do the same thing here? If you want to hurt Activision or send them a message and say, look, we're not going to stand for this, rather than just send an internal memo to to staff. I mean, hurt their wallet. Hurt them.
Well, like you said, it was slightly different. And I mean, at the time, Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red told the people if they wanted to return it to message Sony, which puts it into Sony's little customer service situation, which increases their costs because they have to pay more people to deal with that crap. But with COD, you've got the singular games that have the constant battle passes, microtransactions, which most of these companies, if they're purchased from that platform, get a cut of it. So 30%. they wouldn't want to get rid of it because it is just a cash cow for them at a constant rate, whereas Cyberpunk would have been just like a one-off at that early situation, but also screwing them over by saying, hey, go to them. So, yeah.
So my thought is that the reason that any company pulls stuff from the storefront is because it makes them look bad. Like the reason you take the crappiest games off, the Steam porn games or whatever, you take it down because it's making your storefront look crappy. So I do think that there is a precedent in a way that they could turn it off temporarily. Like imagine if they even took Activision games off for 1 week. I feel like Activision, like Bobby Kotick would be gone in 24 hours. That dude would be cleaning out his desk at gunpoint. I just feel like they could do it. And honestly, I'm on that side now. Like turn it off, like take him off the storefront.
Is that fair to the other developers and stuff? So, I mean, because I get what you guys are saying, and I think that, maybe, but like most people at Activision didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, the way I hear it, most of these people aren't getting bonuses for their games anyways, or if they get it just when it's done, not necessarily for sales figures sometimes and stuff. So like these people are getting paid no matter what. They don't care. Like Bobby Kotick was already absorbing the biggest chunk of the profit. It's not like it was ever getting down to them anyways.
I think there are some people who mentioned that their bonuses are reliant on certain figures after the fiscal year. Because I saw some people on Twitter mention this who worked at Activision, or I think in this case it was, who did the most recent one? Was it Sledgehammer
for Vanguard?
Yeah,
that seems correct.
I think it was
because Treyarch is doing next year's, right?
Yeah, Treyarch is next year. It's either Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward, or maybe it was.
I'm pretty sure it's Sledgehammer. Anyway, I know most of their studios worked to get Call of Duty out the door this year. Like, because I'm sure the development was all over the place anyway this past year with remote work and all of that. But we heard that a lot of their studios were just thrown on this game to get it out there, and of course the Warzone updates. But there were people mentioning that, hey, I know you're trying to make a statement and stuff with all of this, but like, if you guys don't buy the game out of principle, we might not get our bonuses at the end of the year, which some of them do rely on when it comes down to it. So it is an interesting moral dilemma. I will say that when it comes down to everything there. But it would. I mean, what else would Sony and Microsoft really do outside of just posturing for the public, really? Because that's kind of what it sounds like, is that they're just at least putting it out there and reassuring their own employees and their own workforce that they don't stand with any of that.
Yeah, they're reassuring their workforce that they don't stand for what is happening at Activision. But yet in the same breath, Sony has Insomniac, which has had stories come out of their poor abuse of women. They now have a class action lawsuit of gender discrimination. So it's nice that Jim Ryan could put out an internal memo saying that he is distressed by what is happening at Activision under Bobby Kotick. Yet in his own house, there are similar offenses being made. So
interesting.
Some of these
the next interview is going to be good.
All these companies should be looking internally and saying, have we been covering up individuals like the Bobby Kotick or other employees at Activision that have festered and allowed this type of behavior? And if we are, we have to do some house cleaning. Don't put out these virtual signaling calls of action until you look internally and are willing to do the same.
Yeah,
this goes for every major business, not just in video games. It is a societal issue that needs to be addressed.
I think they seem to respond after this Wall Street Journal article came out, right? Where it mentioned that Bobby Kotick had direct knowledge of the stuff that was going on, and that he had been participated in blocking consequences from some of the higher ups.
Wow,
like, so he had an active hand in it, not necessarily that he was ignorant to the stuff happening, but he actually like intervened in some cases.
Well,
He also it was reported that he said some stuff too.
Well, he told his assistant he was going to kill them.
Well, no, also in that plane circumstance, it seemed like he sort of enabled that. Like, he got hot stewardesses on his plane and then invited his like horny bros, and when they said stuff, she complained and he fired her and paid her $200,000 to shut up. So it's like, that seems like pretty much him doing shit that time.
But see, that situation, he went to court and it was settled out of court, and that's something that the board isn't going to use against him now because it's been settled with. But you see, the thing with Activision is people love to hate Activision. It is a company people hate. But last year, this was with Ubisoft. Did Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony make any statements then? Why did Ubisoft get a pass from these three?
True.
Why did the gaming community get a pass with Ubisoft? Ubisoft has not cleaned house. They have not fulfilled the promise that they made. And
yeah, they said they were going to, didn't they?
Activision is in the headlines now. And next year, there's going to be another company in the headlines. This is at every single one of these businesses. And they all have to change the practices internally because it's going to repeat month after month. And the community and the media and everyone involved cannot only focus when it's a company that they hate and they know the community hates. So it can't just be, oh, it's Activision, let's make a big deal about this. But we're going to ignore when it happens at Sony, when it happens at Insomniac, when it happens at Nintendo of America, because this has happened at all of those companies and will continue to happen.
But I mean, at some point, though, as gamers, I feel like there's nothing we can do. Like, that sucks is that since it's so systematic, we can make our voices heard, but it's eventually, what are we going to do? Sell our PlayStation 5s, log out of Final Fantasy? You know, it's like, I don't know. It becomes a thing of like, if every company sucks, what do we do?
I mean, gamers clearly don't care, even with this Activision situation. Like, you look at the top Xbox, like I put it on Twitter, 3 Call of Duty games in the top 10 most played.
Yeah.
So most people don't care.
I also think a lot of them aren't even aware of it anyway, like, because they don't care to be aware.
They simply don't care. I think a lot of them are aware. They just don't care.
Well, I would say for something like Call of Duty that's so mainstream, where they'll sell 24 million copies over the course of like the holiday. I feel like the vast majority of that are people who are not even in tune with the console space or like gaming space like that, to where they're just buying it because it's Call of Duty. And
I agree, but you look at all the because I watch Call of Duty streamers and they don't care because they keep on playing, and all the people watching.
I'm sure that
You know, so even like the people that know what's going on, they don't care either. You know, so I mean, I'm guessing that's a trickle down effect because if they don't care,
and that's a pretty sad state of affair when that is what's happened. Is people, they simply do not care. And it comes down to what was kind of shared earlier, where even the Activision employees may have been saying, I understand you don't want to buy the game for your moral stance, but understand it will have, an impact on us for bonuses. And that's where maybe you not buying Call of Duty Vanguard, maybe that won't change the world, but you not buying the game can change your world. You have to be responsible for your own world and the change you can bring to yourself.
I think one area that we haven't really talked about is the stock price. So Activision they've been on a downward spiral pretty much in the last 6 months. I think about 6 months ago, they were about $95. Now they're at $60. And it doesn't seem like they're recovering, because like when CD Projekt Red had their big thing when they released Cyberpunk and the share price tanked, a few weeks later, it was kind of back to normal. This isn't, and this is worrying, because I think for people that are wanting to look at investing in Activision, or they are currently invested in Activision, they're probably asking questions: what's going on here? So they're catching wind of this stuff as well. And look, I don't claim to say that this is going to tank their business, because I mean Kotick owns the majority of the shares in that company, but I think the optics, the perception of the company right now is not great. The company outlook from a investment perspective, there are a lot of questions being asked about what's happening there and how is it going to get resolved. And I think all roads kind of point to Kotick and basically him leaving that company, which that may never happen, or it may not happen for a long, long time. I don't think the like Nate said, the virtue signaling that we've seen from these companies isn't really going to make a difference. It's really up to him. But if he's starting to feel the squeeze or the pressure of this, then he may end up leaving sooner than he previously had anticipated. I guess. I
think Call of Duty Vanguard's going to underperform pretty badly. Actually, I think it's going to be significantly less than last year.
Definitely. But I think the thing that sucks about that is it's probably going to get, developers are going to be affected by that. They're just going to cut like 30% of the devs or whatever that.
Well, that's the interesting thing about that is I don't really know how many people they're going to cut right now. Only because they still have Warzone that they have to continue on. And then they got to start working on the next Call of Duty's coming out like next year. Mm-hmm. And it took a lot to get this Call of Duty out on time. So, I mean, I assume they're just going to start moving possibly some people who helped to get this Call of Duty out to the next one immediately. So I'm almost wondering how much of their workforce they can really cut if they're on that kind of a schedule where they have to make up for this Call of Duty now. Like Vanguard, I think it's going to come in surprisingly low.
Yeah.
I just didn't see a lot of people talking about it. The game is just not compelling. And there are better games out there now with a Halo. Even, I'll say this. I think Battlefield's more compelling than Call of Duty this year. I think out of the three, I think it's Call of Duty, Battlefield, then Halo. In terms of popularity online and interest. And I just think Vanguard's going to be forgotten about. They're already going back to Black Ops next year?
Yeah.
The fact that that's already gotten out there tells me that they're just like, oh, let's get Black Ops back out in the news now, because that's where we're heading next, and that's a big seller. Black Ops sells. So I think Vanguard's going to turn in some pretty disappointing numbers, and I do wonder. I mean, as NO CEO, depending on the company, it could be obviously a very important position, right, to get these kind of things out. But the Call of Duty name almost just sells itself.
Yeah, plus, Nate and I talked about this on his podcast the other day. You cut the head off the Hydra. If Kotick does get removed from that spot, one of the other directors is going to step in and take over. It's just the cycle is just going to continue.
Oh, I know. Whoever got rid of Vicarious Visions and merged them with Blizzard's, they got to go. Okay, first off. All right, then we got to reform Vicarious Visions because they were putting out some quality stuff that was just getting mixed in with Activision's nonsense, unfortunately. Like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, awesome games.
I think there's Vicarious is fully rolled into the Diablo 4 team, so now they're never getting removed. They're never allowed to touch Tony again.
Yeah, if Bobby Kotick leaves, it's just going to be the sacrificial lamb for them to say, we got rid of the public viewed problem, but the same issues are going to continue internally, and it's just going to be basically a posturing event to make stockholders maybe feel a little more at ease. Or Bobby Kotick might be sitting there with his ego saying, we wait 6 months? No one's going to remember this because there's going to be something new in the headlines. Just like what happened with Ubisoft. Nobody talked about that after 6 months. Same thing's going to happen here.
I'm sorry. Next year is going to be Modern Warfare, based on the timeline I'm looking at here. Yeah, it'll be Modern Warfare. That's still a much bigger seller than Vanguard. Basically, anything that's not World War II again, or World War will be fine.
I mean, just to loop back to what MVG was saying, though, there's been a lot of articles written that pretty much everybody at the top of Activision is fine with this. People have literally pretty much gone on record being like, yeah, Bobby Kotick has been running the business for 20 years. Like, we don't really care what he's up to. Like, sure, okay, he screwed over a couple people, but look at this.
Because
$70 billion
he makes them money.
made.
He makes them money, and that's all they care about. So the only way that he would actually be removed from the board, and the board should be removed entirely for their own actions. If you look at some of the board members, several of them have been under investigation for either sexual harassment, assault, insider exchange fraud, numerous things. But the only thing they understand is money. If you do not hit them where it hurts, which is their wallet, they are not going to change anything.
Well, and that's what my thought is. I think they're going to I personally think Bobby's getting kicked out within the next couple of weeks. I 100% think he's gone, and the next guy is just going to be Bobby Light. It's going to be the exact same. They're going to get the guy who's the most similar and put him in there.
Don't you guys think that leadership though comes from the top? Like if you got one guy who's hiding stuff and not telling people about things, like if you get rid of that guy, then maybe obviously the next guy that comes up, he might be like, hey, I can't suffer the same fate as this dude, and I really got to change things. So I do think people are different. I mean, when you see people, come in and they can change around companies. There's been companies that have had really bad, public personas, and then they get somebody new in there, and it completely changes the atmosphere on how people think about said company. So I mean, I think that's like a big. I think that's a big problem. Like the fact that he allowed it. Should he be allowed to still stay there when he's allowing that, and he's doing his stuff himself, and he settled out of court for one of them, but he's covering for his friends. He's allowing this type of behavior. I know they're changing things now, but it was like hand caught in the cookie jar type of thing. It's like you're only changing because you got caught. You're not changing because you're actually changing. You're changing because you got caught and it's affecting your money flow. So should he be allowed? Like, I don't understand why the what's it called? The shareholders are like, because I guess they're all friends. They're all friends. That's why. But I don't know, man. I don't think Kotick is the reason why Activision is what Activision. I really don't. I think it's developers. I think it's they hit a once in a generational trend with Call of Duty and shooting games. It came in at the right time, and they got that. But was it Kotick or was it the developers making the game? I don't know, man.
He did. The more I've looked into Kotick, he did make a lot of very smart choices. He is the guy. As much as they suck, he did kind of jump on the loot box. He kind of invented the loot box of like, all right, how much can we monetize?
Okay, well, good. Fuck that guy. Get him out.
I think these as negatives, but this is what they see as positives. Like the scummy stuff we hate the most, almost all of it, you could be traced straight back to him. Sell you a season pass for content that isn't made yet. Like Kotick is the guy who invented that stuff, and that's why people love him inside the company. Of like, wow, this guy is straight up printing money.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, would you say that the one thing I guess that could get Kotick out? I mean, you get to a point where morale is so bad and just beaten up that, I mean, how many people are walking out of that place now? I mean, they might want to start wearing a Fitbit to work just to make sure they get all their steps counted. How much that's happening. They sign these petitions, thousands now doing that. I mean, it does feel like there's just a lot of unrest that comes down to Kotick. Like just him being there is a big enough deal to just completely tank morale in a place where, hey, you might end up having to crunch as we get closer and closer to release, and you're like, I'm crunching for this guy and this whole thing. And you get to a point where it just might be that the figurehead has to change just so they can get back on track. I mean, all it would take is a really bad Cyberpunk release for a Call of Duty that like would just like destroy the franchise's image. I mean, we already feel like Vanguard's gonna underperform, but at least it's still Call of Duty and it has that image to go forward with.
Vanguard's trash. It crashes. It's not a good game. I mean, it's not as bad as Cyberpunk, but Cyberpunk got more heat because obviously Cyberpunk, because of the
because of the chairs.
We also
and it was around for forever. But dude, Call of Duty, maybe it's not as broken, but dude, Call of Duty Vanguard is terrible. And this coming from somebody, I watch every Call of Duty. I like watching them, and this is the worst Call of Duty that I've
We also
seen
know another one's coming next year. Like we're gonna get another Call of Duty next year. So there's people who may just play Warzone now and just be like, oh cool, I'll check out Modern Warfare 2.
I've stopped watching Vanguard because it's so terrible. I just went back to watching people play the Warzone and stuff like that. So it sucks, man. That it's not fun to watch either. So
let's let's do this real quick. You think in the next year Kodak's out?
I think he's gone. I personally I think he's gone the next month.
No.
I think he's there. I think he's staying.
He's staying.
If he leaves, it'll be towards the end of their fiscal year, and he's going to do it for a financial reason, but he's not going to be forced out.
That's what I was.
The board has already come out publicly and said they stand by him. So who's going to make him leave?
Yeah, they have to, though, because like if they all have to say we stand by him. If one of them says I don't stand by him, that person's gone. That's it.
Oh, good point.
It's all or nothing, right? Like they all have to say yes.
They just got to get some in talking going
and
there.
Honestly,
away from
if they all said no, we don't stand by you, he could just buy them out anyway because he owns so many more shares than like the rest of the board combined, anyways. So even that is a dangerous game to play. They have to say yes, we stand by him.
Also, I mean, people don't talk about this. Kotick's literally a billionaire. Like literally, he's worth 1.3 billion. So he could just buy another chunk of Activision if people don't like it.
I think you could be onto something there, Nate. By the end of their fiscal year, if he realizes that Vanguard flopped bad, and he could be like, you know what, I'm out. I'll take some money on the way out. It's cool, and then you guys can deal with this. Good luck getting Modern Warfare 2 out next year.
It's going to be a financially driven decision by him, where he's going to say, I'm going to leave. I get my $300 million. I get to sell all my shares. I'm going to walk out here with $1 billion in profit, and I can retire. I'm leaving a little earlier than I initially planned, but it's not going to be because of any external pressure. That may be the image or the message that they want.
You're not fired. You quit.
But he's not getting fired. He's walking out on his terms, no matter how they want to frame it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Let's see, Evan, we got a Discord question over there.
Last one that we have for the weekend. There are 6 nominees for Game of the Year this year. If the Game of the Year could have 6 more nominees, which 6 games would you put in?
Jeez. 6 more. Let's see. We have
Forza Horizon 5.
Forza Horizon 5. I'm gonna throw Returnal. I'll throw Death's Door in there.
Monster Hunter Rise for me. That would definitely be
Rise is still up there.
That's 4. That's 4. There's only 2 more.
I mean, I'd still.
I personally would put Tales of Arise and SMT for me because I think both of those games are freaking incredible. I was surprised Tales of Arise didn't make it in, to be honest, but yeah, SMT and Tales of Arise would be another 2 that I would throw in there.
Final Fantasy 14, not even joking. Like, holy heck, this game just keeps getting bigger and better, and it's now like the biggest MMO of all time. So I mean,
no one's gonna throw Hitman 3 up there.
Who?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that game.
Tough crowd.
Ago.
I didn't play it, but I saw a bunch of people. I watched it, and it looks cool. It's just not my style, but it does look cool. I'll give it that.
The chat is spamming the correct answer. Cruise and Blast.
Cruise and Blast.
Cruise and Blast, baby.
Oh gosh.
It's a cheerocracy.
Cruise and Blast should be all 6 nominees.
Let's go. Let me go over to some of these super chats. We have thorough comments with a couple of messages here. So let's go. Need some Switch Pro rumors.
No.
Nate, you got any Switch Pro rumors over there, Nate?
All the information you need to know is currently available.
Okay, thank you. And then they say they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but shout out to all of you. Thanks, Thora. Parker Brown says, has anyone on the SpawnCast ever played Warframe? It can be slow to get into, but its story is one of a kind, and it's getting a massive chapter soon. Evan actually played a lot of Warframe for a while there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
played
played
it.
it a bit on the Switch too.
I did Switch.
I like it. It's good. It's just I always wish that it was just like a normal game.
My
There's
problem-
always that. Like I wish it was just like a $60. Give me a campaign. Just give me a normal game, and I'd probably be all over even more. But I'm just not a fan
with these
of
MMOs.
it.
It's just it takes so much time to do any of them. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And yeah, we say that, but the company, the way it started, literally the way this game is, that's what made them survive. Had they already tried that one game and no one gave a shit about it. So like this is their attempt.
You talking about that 360 game? What's
that another company had to like take over afterwards to finish it out.
I like that game. I think
Not a lot of people did. That's what made them as a company more vanished.
Dark Void.
It's considered to be one of the worst 360
There's
games.
a glaive in Warframe. There's a glaive in Warframe that's just an homage to that glaive as a memory for that. But this game exists and has existed this long because of the system it's in. Like it just works.
Absolutely. I just wish that they did like another game. Like they don't have to get rid of Warframe.
They
just
did. They did.
They did.
Yeah, they did a
Like
hero
like
shooter that failed almost immediately.
But is it like Warframe? Is it just like Warframe? Like does it play like Warframe?
Nope.
No, I want something that plays like Warframe, but just like a normal single player experience.
I will say I will probably play that Marvel MMO whenever that comes out. That's being rumored now.
Yeah.
I probably will play that because it's made by apparently the same developers that did DC Universe. So I would actually check that out. Fish Fan says, thanks for a great show, Spawn Crew. RGT, how was Thanksgiving? And did Gma bring the good eats? Also, RGT, how do you get those balls?
I was waxing that ass, and Grandma was like, "You want me to shove this meat in your mouth?" And I said, "Only the ripest turkey." All right, there we go.
There you go.
Dear God.
I Live for Retro said, learned a hard lesson about games with digital codes with used games. Got RE triple pack and only RE4 was on the cart. The codes were already used. Ooh.
Rip.
Wait, why the physical you're buying a physical used digital game?
Yeah.
Well, those games, the games where you buy the box and then you don't realize that the other two, like if you buy a used copy of Final Fantasy X HD Remastered,
oh right,
2 is the code.
Yeah.
So if you buy that box, it says 10 and 10 2 on the box.
That's what you don't buy it used. Don't be buying codes. You box codes used. What's going on here?
You never buy a game that's on a Switch that's a collection.
Oh right,
used because you're not getting all those games.
So you're telling me I can't buy the GTA trilogy?
We still need to figure out which game is
first
on that
has
cart.
to come to market.
We need to figure out what game is on that cart. Machine says, much love to everybody. Keep up the amazing content. Hashtag Algorand is the future of crypto and the metaverse. Not financial advice. Duan says, hey, how are you doing today? Hey, Duan. Let's see. We have Oosh saying, I wish SpawnCast did a better job at defending Misclick against your community and sell trolls. Please do a better job at moderating the live chat. Misclick comment. Okay. We have Glenn saying predictions for Big N's reveal at the Game Awards. I'd guess Metroid Prime 1 Remake, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker Pack, or Xenoblade 3. Do you think Nintendo's going to even show a game here, or you think it's just going to be the trailer for Mario?
I think they're going to show something. Did you guys see on the eShop what they put? They actually put like a Game of the Award nominees like banner on the eShop in the featured section. So it looks like they're trying to hype things up a little bit. You know, I don't know.
They're going to show something, and Nate knows what it is. What is it, Nate?
What?
What's Nintendo showing?
What are we getting?
What are we getting, Nate?
At what?
The Game Awards.
Nintendo is going to show something.
Sure.
Oh, okay. What are they showing?
I have not made that claim. I do not know why I'm being asked.
I mean, I didn't say you made the claim. I just want to know what it is.
Yeah. So wouldn't
it be something if Nintendo didn't have anything though?
Oh no.
Fun.
That's a boring answer. I'm gonna say they're showing Metroid Remake.
I'm gonna go with Jeff Grubb, the Kirby release date. How about that?
You just stole that from Grubb.
Hey, you just said he was taking it from Grubb.
Is Funky Kong coming back? Funky Kong in something.
Funky mode, yeah.
Funky mode.
I
guess the Metroid Prime remaster has a chance. I would think they would hold that for the first direct of 2022. I don't think that would really have a big impact at something like the Game Awards. I'd hold that for 2022.
You're right in that I feel like it would people would feel debated if you saw like a Metroid Prime looking trailer and then it said Metroid Prime Remake. People would be like, what the fuck?
Dude, that would be amazing.
I'd be happy, but I feel like all the people waiting for 4 would be like, this
Oh
game.
my god, that'd be incredible if they showed Metroid Prime 1 remake.
That'd be
Remaster.
Remaster. Sorry, whatever.
Remaster.
I'm done. Look, just Metroid Prime again. How about that? Let's call Metroid Prime more.
Metroid reprimed.
Metroid reprime. There you
That's
go.
Metroid Primer because it's a fresh coat of paint.
There you go.
Primer.
Someone's gonna steal that joke, put it on Twitter, and it's gonna go viral.
Chris,
Probably. This dumbest stuff goes viral on Twitter.
I know. They're like, don't you hate when toenail clippings get in your eye? It's always the stupid.
Cristobal says, happy belated Thanksgiving to entire SpawnCast. I am grateful for family, health, and video games as an entertaining escape. Thanks for your weekly podcasts. Let's see. This is from Don't Subscribe to Game Pass.
That's terrible.
Rolling Stones
already.
mogged the Beatles. Cope Nate. They got a little clown emoji face.
Cope Nate.
What?
Copium.
The Beatles were just named the greatest musical group of all time by Rolling Stone.
Are we like comparing the Beatles and the Stones?
I think it's just whatever Nate likes, we have to hate it.
This
He's
is-
Nate the hate.
This is from Machine saying, keep
How
up
do
the
you
great
hate
work to
the
everybody
Beatles?
currently on the stream.
Have you listened to Rubber Soul?
I
Have you
haven't.
listened to the White
Listen
Album?
to the White
I
Album.
care
Have
nothing.
you listened
I
to
care
Abbey
nothing.
Road?
Listen to
Sergeant
Revolver?
Pepper's?
The White Album.
Number
What?
9?
No, not number 9. Nothing with Yoko.
Yeah, I
That's
hate all the Yoko.
Revolution. Revolution number 9.
Number 9.
One
The
video.
Simpsons had a great spoof of that, where
I
Barney's in at number 8.
And it burps,
Number
yeah.
8. brr.
one video game dude says, I need to say there's an amazing group of your peeps in your chat and that I love them. There you go. Trom says, I'd be livid if Shin Megami Tensei 5 goes to PlayStation before Persona 5 goes to Switch.
It doesn't matter. Who cares? If it goes to wherever, there's too many crazy people out there that are going back and forth. Just wherever this game's come to, let them come to. Doesn't matter.
There you go.
Just play, have fun.
I
Jacob-
personally want Shin Megami on PlayStation more, just so it runs good.
Even the Amico version.
Jacob says,
Calm down there. Calm down.
Shantae, Stardew, and Blood Rain 1 and 2 for 50. Thank you guys for the deals. What's a sneak peek for next week?
What's next week?
What is next week? The
What
Game
is
Awards
next
isn't
week?
next week.
I'm putting my sneak peek is I'm doing a review of a $300 PlayStation 5
Oh,
controller. That video is
okay,
going to be
okay.
ridiculous.
Next
Okay.
week sounds pretty quiet. Like, is there anything going on next week?
Good question. I mean, obviously the following week's going to be up all over the place because that Game Awards, but that's a good question. Maybe it's going to be the calm before the storm then. Yes, says the coolest thing RGT85 ever did was introduce me to Spawn Wave. Blue Knight says, MVG, I have been enjoying Game Builder Garage. What would be a good game engine to graduate to and start learning?
You could probably start looking at something like Unity, but if you don't want to dive directly into 3D, because it can be a little daunting, Game Maker is another really good engine you can jump in. It teaches you the basics really well. It does have, it's mostly focused on 2D, but there's also a 3D components in there as well. So I'd probably say Game Maker would be the next thing, but if you want to just dive in head first, just jump onto Unity or even Unreal Engine 4 or 5. They're pretty good.
Oh, they were talking about your mystery guest for next week.
Oh.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Not
You have
even
to
we know. People.
wait and see. They don't even know, right? Because if I told them before the show, they might accidentally spill it here.
It's
Or we
true.
might not show up.
I'll tell. No, you'll show up for this guest. I think you'll like the guest.
He starts all of his videos with, "Hey y'all, Sean here."
Jose says, Black Friday buy Cyberpunk and Avengers, $20 total. That's pretty good. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it good?
That's Is it good? It might spend a little bit too much. Then again, I bought Avengers for $50, so
There you go.
I need to shut up. So
I'm replaying it right now. It somehow got worse.
Lemstar says, bought Ghost of Tsushima for $30 on Dell's website. Then a few days later, got an email from them saying it's canceled due to pricing error.
That's a
Let's
shame. Do you see the great pricing error that GameStop had, where if you added 2 Xbox Series S's to your cart with the Fortnite bundle, it made the Fortnite bundle $10. So some people were getting a Series S for $10 and seeing if the order went through.
Ooh,
nice.
that's nice.
Thoro says, why don't you talk about the Anthony Broadwater exoneration and the Ahmaud Arbery case? While those are very serious topics, we mostly talk about dumb video games here.
Yeah, he must have been not joking, but like he's not serious. Yeah.
Then we have Spyro saying snagged a PS3 25% off on Black Friday from my local game store. Now I can finally play Skate again. Hey, you know what? Skate 2, Jordan? Skate 2 went backwards compatible on the Xbox.
Dude, I was so happy. The second that I saw that announcement, I said, finally, all 3 of them can be played on the Xbox. They just missed out on 2, and I popped my original copy in. Works great.
And what's funny is they did that, and then they announced, just reminded us that the servers are being shut down next month.
Yep, life's great.
Yep. One video game dude says, I know we're RGT85. He's playing Metroid Dread and Balan Wonder something, isn't he?
No.
Probably.
He's playing something that's multiplayer, but I'm pretty sure it's couch co-op.
Still Alive says, one thing I love on the Switch is all the compilations we have been getting, but what's a compilation we don't have on Switch that you like? For instance, I'm still hoping for, I was going to say, the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 collection.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming. They're just waiting until they finish all the releases on PC. Then it will come to consoles in 2022.
Wait, what? Really? Is it?
The Pixel
Yes.
remasters.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say anything until now? Why'd you just let us complain for
I
the
said
last
it
few
when
months?
it was. I said it way back in July. It's not my fault. You don't listen.
That's
You didn't say that too.
Yes,
when did
I
you say
did.
that? When?
When it was
it on?
announced.
Was it on the podcast?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes. I've said this numerous times. They were waiting for it. They're waiting to release them on PC because they're essentially coming in hot. They want to sell them on PC as individual titles, and then they'll bring it as a full collection to consoles next year.
I heard the exact same thing. And the words I heard were also the coming in hot thing. That's why some of the games came out a little bit weird with screen tearing and stuff. They're really just printing them as fast as they can right now.
Okay. Taco says, I love Halo, but hearing about the monetization and progression is keeping me from starting Infinite.
Just
No, I
play
would
it
still
and
play
have
it.
fun.
Yeah, I would still play it.
That shouldn't be holding you back from playing. You'll still have so much fun with that game.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it's not like you're paying anything for it. I mean, if you already have the Xbox, just play. I think sometimes you let sometimes we let what other people say too much affect our own thing. Like, don't let, because somebody else says, "Oh, I hate progressive." That shouldn't stop you from trying it out. Like, be your own judge. Yeah, be your own judge,
and have
dude.
fun. I remember when Vanquish came out on the 360 and PS3, and everyone's like, "Oh, this game is so short. I beat it in 4 hours." I was like, "Man, that's really disappointing because this game looks awesome." And I hesitated to buy it at the time. Then when I finally did buy it, it was 6 hours in-game time log. It wasn't actually how long you played the game. And I remember I was like 10 hours into the game. I was like, this is the longest 4-hour game I've ever played in the game. And it was so disappointing because I would have bought it at launch, but everyone's like, oh, you beat the game in like one sitting. You really didn't. Buy it. If you have interest in it, pick it up, play it, have fun.
One time I did that real quick with Lost Odyssey. Everyone was saying, "Oh, it's just a grindy. It's just traditional. It's so old." Like, and I didn't get IGN was going on it, and I didn't get it. And I remember I played it a couple years later. And I was like, "I'm a freaking moron. This is like one of the greatest RPGs I've ever played." So just don't always let what some people are saying affect what you think. Try it out yourself, especially because this one's free. So it's not like there's any risk.
The only thing you're going to lose is the time it takes to download.
Yeah.
And also, any of the complaints we're lodging towards Halo is us saying after we've played like 50 hours of it together.
That's true.
This is from Diamond saying, okay, just wanted to ask, I'm playing Scarlet Nexus and I started with Yuito. Love the art, combat, vibe, and music is so amazing. Did anyone feel like the writing got bad half through his route?
Some of the side stuff, yeah, but I kind of like the story. But I mean, yeah, some of the side dialogue gets a little bit wonky.
I kind of just tune out that stuff in those type of games. I don't even give a shit when it comes to like games like that.
OJ plays JRPG for not the story at all.
You're talking about like the partner dialogue, Max, where you're trying to build like relationships with
the stuff in your little hotel room. I thought some of that got real weird.
Yeah, I don't even care when it comes to that.
Dude, I have not played Scarlet Nexus in a while now I think about it. It's been when that game came out, like the next week I remember something else dropped and then something else, and it was just like
you got buried.
One after the other. Yeah. I really want to go back because there's the other storyline you could play, and there's 2 paths. I didn't do the second one, so
I think they updated it too. They've actually made it a bit better. I'm
gonna check that out. I mean, I say that, but I still have to finish Tales of Arise. I'm like 3/4 of the way through that game. So.
Too many games, man.
Yeah. And I'm actually rolling through Pokemon right now too. The A button on that Switch is getting annihilated. Diamond says, I feel like no one had urgency and was way too forgiving once they all met up in the mountains. I'm really hoping the ending and Katan's role makes up for it. I'm only 60% interested in beating it now. I mean, you're already most of the way through. You might as well finish it. I still want to do the other run too, the other storyline. So hopefully I'll be able to let you know about it next year. We'll see. Trip and Fall says, hardware pushers question, what game pushed the PS1 to its absolute limits?
MGS1, right?
The PS1, yeah, MGS1 is definitely one of those games that pushed it to its limits. So look at that game now. I mean, it doesn't look great, but like if you look close, it's got like motion blur and all these cool transparency effects. It's pretty incredible what they did on that game.
I'm trying to think. I mean, would you put any of the Final Fantasies, like the later Final Fantasy, like a 9 or something in that?
Yeah, I would say
pushers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I could definitely, I would definitely put one of the later Final Fantasies in there as well.
Hardware pushers.
Any of the the really late PS1 games technically are pretty good.
I would say probably Chrono Cross. I know it's not the best looking one, but it's a 3-disc game. I bet they struggled to get that thing going the way that they probably wanted it to.
This is from Voxel saying, question for Max. I'm about to go for the 4th Light Warden in Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers. Do I have time to finish the full story before Endwalker on Friday?
No. I mean, my advice, because early access is about to drop for Shadowbringer or Endwalker. It's the end of a 10-year story. Get off of social media or mute words like Endwalker, because there's going to be a lot of spoilers. Play through it at your own pace. You have some time left, but yeah. Like, don't skip those cutscenes.
Lucia says, if I buy or earn a coating, I just want it to apply to all of my armor cores. I want a Tempest Yori Samurai. Yeah, that was the weird thing. When I got that weekly one, I was like, I can only use it on this one armor. That's kind of strange. So, yeah, I hear that. J Stud says, regarding Halo, yes, fun should always come first, but from red tunics and various suits and Fire Suit Mario, outfit rewards have always been fun and relevant.
Fire Suit Mario?
They said
you get it. That's an upgrade.
Yeah,
that's a whole different thing, isn't it? Like
even red tunic is
fireballs.
An upgrade for even the suit for Samus. You get that as natural progression in the game itself because it's relevant to the narrative.
Yeah, that's different. And a power up is different from a cosmetic. But I see what he's trying to say, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to say, if Smash Brothers had some sort of implementation that you played, you had to complete X mission to get Dark Link as an alternate costume, it'd be more apt.
Well, we unlocked costumes all the time in fighting games, though, back in the day.
Yeah, I've seen Marvel vs. Capcom too.
Yeah,
Marvel vs. Capcom unlocking all the characters and all the costumes.
Yep, you have to go in and you play through it a bunch of times and you buy the costumes, and it was just that. It was just different costumes. Halo.
I never remember caring about any of it. I thought it was always just alternate, you can pick whatever different alternate one. But I was in the arcade though, so.
Oh yeah, if you had it on the Dreamcast, that was like the hot game on the Dreamcast back then, because it was like the full arcade experience.
I had it on the Dreamcast, but I never unlocked. We just wanted to beat the crap out of each other. So
we literally grind through the single player over and over and over again through the arcade mode, so we get enough points to buy it out of the shop. You buy all the characters, then you bought stages. Remember, I know we'd always go through and get the costumes though as well. And then somebody had the full file and they would just save it and then copy it between VMUs.
Yeah. And then those save files, people started building them into fight sticks. So they would build these custom fight sticks, and you have to sacrifice a memory card inside of it. So you'd get the one perfect save file somebody had and put it inside the fight stick.
I remember people doing stuff like that. I remember that now.
The VMU was such a cool idea.
Oh, it was great. Yeah,
like
so
20
super ahead of the time.
I love them.
I thought it was really, at the time, I thought it was like the greatest thing that I've ever seen. At the time that it came out, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, but then you would take one on the bus and realize no one else had a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, I can't, okay, that's not
it was such a cool idea in some of those, like Skies of Arcadia, you had like the radar and it would blink quicker when you were getting close to like the crystals in the game and stuff.
Oh, dude, in Virtua Tennis, you'd have the tennis match on the VMU.
Yeah,
it would have it looked like
little stick figures in the back and forth.
I think like Sega GT Rally, like you had like a little mini game that you could play and like use your card and like upgrade it when you get back, or like earn some rewards. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, those were the days.
I paid $2.99 for each of these.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
I literally got like 20 of them. I love them.
This is from Fire saying Halo has been fun coming from a single player game that says a lot. You can def tell when there's a PC guy on the map and would be nice to pick match type. Progression doesn't make you any more OP. Yeah, match type is biggest. That's what people really want is to be able to just pick Team Slayer, not have to randomly get oddball with like, it's a lot easier to do Team Slayer with randoms than try to work out a plan without people talking to each other and everything. Edward says, I think Halo Infinite to succeed is use the Fracture events to cross over their IPs, Armor Cores for Doom, Gears of War, Banjo, Fallout, Minecraft, etc. Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. The How To Gamer says, I don't know about the legalities, but to bring attention to it, could the Big Three put a disclaimer on Activision games on the digital store saying this company is under investigation for misconduct?
No, they can't do that, can they?
I think they probably could.
They probably
know.
could, but they won't.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's something that they should. They do that? Is that something they should do?
I mean, they're smart business people, so probably not, because they're like, we don't want to affect the money necessarily, but
I think that's a good idea that won't happen. I think that's actually a great idea that's just not on the table.
Yeah. Let's talk about this Chrono Cross stuff. This is our last topic here. This was an interesting one. This popped up. Did this just come out of nowhere? Because I feel like randomly one day people just started talking about it.
No, it was a rumor at first that there's a big PlayStation remake.
There was a big PlayStation remake, yes. And then it was named.
Yes, and then now we actually got a name that, hey, that's Chrono Cross, which I thought it could be Chrono Cross after what happened with Trials of Mana, the success of that game and what they did. So I thought that they could bring back Chrono Cross or Chrono something. You know, I've been saying that, but but it's cool that we actually have. Maybe it's happening. Maybe Nate can give us some more information.
This is from This is from Xbox era co-founder Nick Baker. Mentions that so they mentioned Chrono Cross Remastered, but they also mentioned that it was in the NVIDIA leak list at the exact same time they're saying it here. So I just want to point that out that is there in the NVIDIA leak, which has proven to be more and more reliable now as things have been announced. It was there. We also had a bunch of other remasters. We think, Nate, we think about this Chrono Cross remaster.
It's happening.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
The only uncertainty I have is whether or not it is the PlayStation remake that is being referred to by the Irish musicians.
So, okay.
Which Nick says it is the same title. I don't have anything to support or dismiss that.
So, either way, I mean, this sounds like it would be something from... Because Square had a couple of remasters in that NVIDIA leak. They had... Final Fantasy was in there. Final Fantasy Tactics. I don't know if it's worth them doing that right now because they are also doing Triangle Strategies. I don't know if it's worth them also being like, here's Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered looks very similar. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they could do that. I also noticed that we saw Tactics Ogre that was in there. Tactics Ogre Remastered. That'd be an interesting one to see pop up as well. But Chrono Cross Remastered is, I don't know, that's an interesting one to throw out there. How many people are that aware of Chrono Cross?
No.
The only, it's older people like us who are aware of it.
It sold over it definitely sold more than 1 million because they had to put that stupid green ugly border on the side of it at one point. 1.5 million sold. That would actually be considered good now, though, for a JRPG if one sold 1.5 million.
But they were expecting so much more. That game single-handedly pretty much killed the Chrono franchise. Like, it really did. That game single-handedly killed the Chrono franchise. Coming off of Trigger.
Because the game was nothing like Trigger. Everyone was like, I can't wait to see all my old friends from Trigger. And then you play Cross, and they're like, their land was invaded and they were all brutally executed.
They're all dead. Well, all right then.
Okay, I can't wait to play as this cat guy.
Yeah, they're in there, but yeah, there's some weird things you got to do. But yeah,
brutally murder.
But yeah, that was the issue back then. I remember this vividly with this game, like being very upset. Like back in this was 99, 2000. So.
It was The Last of Us Part 2 of our generation.
Yeah, I remember being very upset that Chrono and Luca and Rob weren't there. because Trigger sold a lot more, and it was on a fraction of the less than Super Nintendo sold half of what the PlayStation sold, and this was at the end of the PS1's run. So
came
they
out
were
in 2000. Yep.
Yeah, they were expecting, okay, this is going to be the big RPG. You know, they spent a lot of time and money and effort on it, and it did not do well at the beginning, you know?
It felt like one of those first projects where, like, now we talk about companies stepping on their own toes or competing with themselves, where they were cranking out so many great RPGs. One of them had to fall on the sword, and it unfortunately ended up being Chrono Cross.
That's in between all the Final Fantasy games, too. Like, there's still, like, a bunch of it was Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and then 10 was coming out. We started hearing some stuff about 10. So it's, like, in between all of those, you know, and it's rough. And you're right. That was the one that was the kind of like.
Is this a Game Awards reveal?
No way.
I mean, it could be. Bravely Default 2 was revealed at the Game Awards.
It could be, but I mean, again, only us, like, 7 people know what Chrono Cross is. I mean,
if you got to shot the show to
of-
people, it's the Video Game Awards. People are literally showing up to see Video Game Awards, right?
I mean, my thought is, how are they going to, my curiosity is, how are they going to advertise this? Because I feel like you're going to have to say, like, the most legendary RPG of all time, Chrono Trigger, the sequel
to Chrono Trigger is it's here.
That's what they're going to say. Yeah, the sequel to Chrono Trigger, like, it's finally back, and then they're going to fucking bring it
What
out.
if, I mean, so this is supposed to be set to announce a big remake. I mean, this is a remaster, or is a full remake?
Remake.
So they're going to change the visuals. It's going to be like Secret of Mana change, or
no, it shouldn't be like Trials of Mana change. I'm guessing it's Trials of Mana, Unreal Engine 4, and more like Trial. If they're going to do a remake, it's going to be like that or whatever. That's what I'm guessing.
So. Yeah, to my understanding, it's fairly low budget. The best comparison is probably something like Trials of Mana.
Do you think they do something with Chrono Trigger with it as well? Like, do they just drop that on the stores or something?
Chrono Trigger, I think, actually has some ownership issues. The story is owned, I believe. I would have to actually look up the split, but I think the story is owned by Square, but the characters are owned by another duo. So
Interesting.
You would have to have that unanimous support of all 4 parties involved to make something happen. I'd have to check the ownership status again, though.
Yeah, I would like to see this game get revealed at the Game Awards. I think it'd be kind of cool for that to happen. I mean, we've seen some pretty big reveals at the Game Awards. I mean, the Xbox Series X was revealed there. So why not something random and out of nowhere like a Chrono Cross remake? I'm hoping it looks good though visually, because we've seen remakes that are hit or miss with Square right now. So, what if it's in? No, I guess they wouldn't be able to do that. It wouldn't be able to be like HD 2D. It'd have to be like the full like 3D look to it, like a Trials of Mana.
That's it. Birds. There's a split between Akira Toriyama, Bird Studio. Square.
Oh, okay, that'd be a problem.
There's a lot of things at play with Chrono Trigger. It's not impossible to overcome, but they would have to be.
This is supposed to be multi-plat as well, so I guess it's just going to be on Switch, PlayStation, I guess PC. They could put it on the Xbox if they wanted to, but most likely it's going to be obviously heavy in the Japan market.
You've seen Microsoft make numerous deals with Square Enix for Game Pass. I mean, Xbox has Octopath Traveler. Sony has yet to get it.
Sony hasn't been getting.
That's true.
No, sorry, not Sony. Xbox. They haven't got like they didn't get Trials. So I guess that's why people are saying usually. And there's a couple other Square Enix RPGs that they haven't gotten. But yeah, they did get Octopath. So yeah, maybe they could make a deal. But does Xbox care about? I mean, they got Octopath like way later after. It's like, okay, this game is obviously it's really unique. It's a cool looking game, right. HD 2D. Like, does Microsoft care about Chrono Cross? I don't know if they care about Chrono Cross.
I saw those weird sales numbers that were going around. Like, Xbox is doing better than I thought they would in Japan. Maybe I don't know.
They're doing well in Japan. I mean, they've almost sold the Xbox One's lifetime.
I think they outsold it. They outsold it.
In just a year. The S is doing incredibly well over there.
The sales are overall though it's like it's like worse than Wii U. It's like considerably worse than Wii U.
It's good for Microsoft,
but it's good. Yeah,
it's good for the Xbox brand in Japan.
Yeah.
Maybe Square just gets a check from them to help development. And there's like, here you go, you put it on Game Pass. That's fine.
I think it's gonna be a game. It'd be like a Game Pass thing. Like later, I think they'd probably do it like a Dragon Quest type of deal. You know?
Yeah, get that check for it. Yeah, do that. I think that's a good. Yeah, I hope this is a thing. I hope it has a really cool physical copy, like physical edition. All this, like, that'd be really cool to see that get a resurgence. And it does make me wonder if what do you think they're trying to see if people maybe remember the Chrono series a bit there, and then can they take a shot at at Nemuring this thing too?
I do want to add Chrono Cross is really good too. Like Chrono Cross is it's a really good PS1 RPG. So,
yeah, but I want to see the internal dilemma of Chrono Trigger fans as they announce that it's getting the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment.
Oh God.
There's no way they'd spend that type of money on this franchise.
Well, so in the original version of the NVIDIA leak, what was listed near this was the Final Fantasy Tactics remastered as well. So I kind of have a feeling that next year is just going to be a bunch of like remakes announced and then easy remasters, and if we get the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection, so 1 through 6 coming to PlayStation and stuff. I don't know. This could be a good chance to just be like, all right, we put a bunch of money into Chrono Cross, and now we're going to do a cheap version of Chrono Tactics because it's already so done. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it all plays out.
Okay. We go over here to the super chats to finish up. This is from Fires saying Halo's. Oh, okay. This is from Edward saying, I think Halo to be we just that one too. Okay, now it refreshed. It mixed them all up here. Yeah, it just mixed them all up on the. Okay, there we go. Hayo says Activision recovered from Diablo Immortal and the stock price plummet. People literally don't care. The news cycle will bury this and move on. Ike says, we all agree with John. Okay, well, don't do that. Instead, they're sitting here doing something and we all agree with John. Okay, well, don't do that, but you should agree with me anyway.
What are they doing?
Something to get you in trouble on YouTube. Minato says, and notice how this is a problem mostly with Western AAA video game companies, whereas most Japanese video game companies is mostly fine, it seems, at least,
because they don't hire women.
I'm pretty sure the creator of Ninja Gaiden was accused of sexual assault and harassment by like a dozen women at Team Ninja and Koei
You
Tecmo.
mean Itagaki?
Yeah. Was he not forced out of the company for these types of allegations?
Yes, he was. Absolutely.
It happens in Japan, but reporting crimes in Japan is much more socially stigmatized. It's like a big problem over there. A lot of times police also won't take reports. It's a big issue there, which is that they like their low crime rate, so they just don't even record certain crimes. So
Truly Epic says, bring back the What's Everyone Been Playing segment. What's everyone been playing? Halo.
Halo.
Final Fantasy 14.
And Pokemon. Actually, I haven't played Pokemon. Pokemon's becoming excessively easy now because my team is just overpowered.
Dead Space 3 on back compat.
Whoa.
Ooh, good one.
Sound of that. Okay.
It's really good.
They did that again last year.
Does the co-op still work? Can we play some co-op?
I don't know, actually, if it still does. It might.
Want to test it? Sounds like a video. No. Yeah, let me know if you want to play some test.
Stud says, since all of the best Metroids have troubled development, does this mean Metroid Prime 4 could be the greatest game of all time?
Yes.
All right. Edwin says, was thinking of pairing a RetroTink 5X Plus M Classic for a PS3. Would that be overkill?
Yeah, ditch the M Classic. It's hot garbage. The rest is fine.
There you go. Headstrong says, will Evan ever consider doing some tech streams or videos? I think he could be a good teacher on all the editing and software related stuff.
There's just too much time. I'm doing all kinds of other stuff. I'd rather just stream my games basically and manage this.
You stream, don't you? I'll say you already stream your games,
I stream
right?
Games, occasionally art, stuff like that. You just got to come over to it.
Yeah, you stream artwork. That's right. You do stream a lot of your artwork. Yep. A lot of times you'll do different things that people order and you'll like put it together on stream.
Yeah.
So people can see the process. Mananumi says, how about one more Smash reveal for TGA just to surprise us all? The roster does seem complete when you stack the echoes / remove the Mii fighters.
It's done. It's done. Sakurai showing
leave that man alone.
It's done. Leave this man alone. Let's just it's done, guys. There's no more Smash. It's done.
He's trying to play his Xbox in peace.
Yeah.
It's done. No more
That
Smash
was really
reveals.
funny how that was a story. Sakurai bought an Xbox, and that was like all over headlines. I'm like, just let this guy buy an Xbox.
I mean, it'd be like Sakurai buys a sandwich, eats lunch outside at a picnic table.
It's like you guys realize he
he's a
doesn't work.
human.
He doesn't work at Nintendo, right? Like,
it's-
he works
guys,
with Nintendo.
Guys, it's done. There's no more Smash reveals. The roster, even you remove the echoes and all that, there still has like the incredible roster. So yeah, it's done. It's done. Let them wait. Let's get a real something. Let them wait later, years later. We can talk about Smash Brothers in terms of a new one. But it's done.
Mighty Ryan says, if you could have any Hollywood actor play as you in a movie, who would you pick? Chris Pratt.
Jack Black from High Fidelity
Jack Black.
specifically.
That's a good one. Nate, we already know who would play you, right?
Who? John
Jordan.
Stamos?
Jordan, who would play Nate?
Alan Rickman's dead.
Well, yeah, I was about to say Alan Rickman's passed away.
He's also like 40 years older than me.
Nah, you're pretty old.
I look
In spirit.
identical to young Tony Hawk. So just time travel, get young Tony Hawk to play me.
How about Benedict Cumberbatch for you, Nate?
Benedict Cumberbatch? Maybe.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd get no. I need someone. I would. You know what? Who would be a good one? I can't think of his name. Pedro Pascal.
No,
Yeah.
no. Someone
Yeah.
in the chat said John Cena. I mean, because I guess we never see you, so
That's
that
true.
could work too.
There you go.
Yeah, that would work.
Venom says, I wish we could get another prototype game. It was an amazing hack and slash game with cool abilities. You know what? I really did. I liked the original prototype. The original prototype was good, I thought.
Prototype 2 was kind
The
of
original was good. 2 had functionally good ideas later on in it that they didn't utilize. Getting to the final zone in 2 was great because you would actually run into people with your same powers and have actual superpower battles in the city, which were just crazy. And then that lasted like a minute.
One.
The first
one
was great.
had some cool ideas. Yeah, I like the first one.
I got
The
the
first-
platinum trophy in the first one. It was fun. The last one of the hardest trophies is beat the game without dying, but you can just keep reverting save files. It was a pain.
The platinum. I got the platinum trophy in that game. Wasted my summer doing that. There's too many freaking. You have to kill so many people, and I ended up just having to like spam with tanks killing things just to get the platinum in that game.
Consider this: the speed of that game and what they were trying to aim for now with NVMe drives and the faster load times and everything. I think they could actually achieve what it should have been back then.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
get
that's
what you're
true.
saying,
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the specials where it do the purposeful slow mo as you exploded.
Like everything just shot out of you and just hit everyone. That was cool.
clearly made for an SSD or something where you could just do that and to look more live action.
It was cool. I did like. I mean, I did overall like both games though with Prototype. I just thought one was they're both okay. I just kind of forgot about it. Like, didn't they do a remaster of it, or didn't they do like a re-release?
They
like,
did
on
a collection, yeah.
But it like sucked or something happened with it, right?
I thought it was pretty decent. I think it was just that people realized it was like a straight port, and those games, in a lot of ways, like it's one of those games where once you figure out like square, triangle kills every enemy in the game, people kind of went, "Oh, this kind of sucks."
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Shinru as well. Chrono Trigger and Cross RPGs everyone talks about. I hope that rumor is true. I want to at least try these games. Come on, Square Enix.
Well, you'll be able to play Cross, but
We'll see about Trigger.
we're not sure about Trigger. Knowing Trigger, it'll end up being made by like Forever Entertainment.
Oh gosh.
Damn.
Brendan says my favorite games always lead me to wanting to play more games in a genre after I'm done, and I played 5 different Metroidvanias after 2 playthroughs of Dread. It's my game of the year, regardless of awards. Madden says, will there ever be another game series that completely revives aging hardware like Pokemon did for the Game Boy?
I mean, it's possible. It depends on the generation. I mean, that argument could be used that Kinect revived the Xbox 360. The Kinect gave 360 another 2 years of relevancy.
Yeah, but the Game Boy was kind of just sort of hanging on there, and then Pokemon
already
shows up and explode. I mean, Pokemon blew up that system. It was
already
crazy.
really old. It was already really old because it came out in like the late 80s, and by Pokemon it was what, 1998 or 90? Yeah, so it already
96.
in Japan, and then they got green and red, and then we got like blue and red, and that was like a year and a half later, I think. It
already been a number of years,
like almost a decade.
It would have to be like there has to be like some type of cultural, like you said, like phenomenal. Like Pokemon was like the TV show. I watched the TV show first back then. I was like, wow, this is the greatest show I've ever seen at the time. And then the game came and I was like, oh wow, this is the greatest thing ever too. And I was like, they both.
You know what? I'll tell you what.
know?
I'll tell you a scenario that maybe is if the 3DS had come out in like 2009 or something. It had GPS in it, and it was able to communicate like tower or something. But Pokemon Go went to that or something.
Oh my god.
That might have done it. That might have been a situation that would be similar to that based on how that exploded. That's just trying to think of something that went outside of gaming, because Pokemon went outside of gaming and brought people to the Game Boy. It was wild times.
The cards too. I mean, Jordan, you know, I mean, but the cards back then was just, it was like triple. Like it was like
everything. It's the anime, the games, the cards. It was just that perfect worldwide phenomena hitting simultaneously. I mean, we also have to think back then, mobile technology with something like a Game Boy wasn't advancing the way it is today.
Right.
So just with the way technological advances are occurring today, we're probably not going to have that type of longevity for hardware to really hit that moment to expand the life cycle of hardware.
I mean, I guess the only thing even sort of comes to mind, and maybe I'll correct me, but like the fact that PlayStation 3 really exploded at the end of the life cycle once the Uncharted trilogy was done and Last of Us was out and Killzone trilogy was out. It felt like everybody kind of I felt like a huge chunk of the demographic.
It had a bump at the end, it had a bump at the end. And it ended up passing the sales, didn't it? Didn't it end up passing the total sales of Xbox 360 the last minute?
It did towards the end,
Yep.
And that felt like a gradual catalog and not a single thing, like a singular game. But I do feel like that kind of made it last a little bit longer.
This is from Truly Epic saying, will there ever be a 10th member of the SpawnCast?
It's already hectic enough with 9.
Member.
Yeah, it's already hectic as it is.
The audience, the viewing audience is the 10th member, like the crowd is at the Seahawks Stadium.
The 12th man? There you go.
Yeah.
Well, they might want to get a 13th man over there.
Screw that stadium, and screw the Seahawks too. Let me just go ahead and add that in too while I'm at it.
Brendan says, pardon the pun, but Cross seems to have been
star-crossed. And screw SeaTac, that stupid airport. I hate the TSAs there. They're feeling up on me. It was screw that. Screw the whole Alicia. There we go. Now I'm done.
Sequel to a game that's nearly perfect is already a tough ask. Maybe just market it as its own thing this time, just a cool JRPG. Alvin says, finally got a PS5 on Thursday. Haven't had a PS4 since 2015. Okay, playing Rift Apart, but don't even know where to start after so many games I missed. Help. Okay, so PS4 in 2015. Yeah, there's a pretty large gap there. I mean, immediately you got to play Ghost of Tsushima. That's a good one. Get the director's cut, you're good.
Not an exclusive, but definitely Dark Souls 3.
I mean, obviously God of War. That's part of your, basically sign up for that PlayStation Plus, get the collections, and there's plenty of stuff to go through there that is just immediately in that kind of that gap that you missed. Definitely God of War. I would go to that right away too. Spider-Man. Yep. Definitely start going right. You get the Spider-Man remaster, so you get Spider-Man, you get Miles Morales as one package. I think that was even on sale for Black Friday.
Miles Morales was, I think the standard version was 30. I'm not sure what the deluxe version was.
It was 30.
Yep. So I mean, there's a lot to check out there, and what I would do is I would sign up for that PlayStation Plus, get the collections, and you'll have like 20 games something dropped in there immediately.
You have to get the Order 1886. It's probably like $2.
Yeah, you can skip that. It's fine.
No, you cannot skip that. That is terrible.
You literally cannot skip the cutscenes in that game.
The game will take you exactly 7 hours because you cannot play it any faster.
Yeah,
the game would be like 20 minutes if you could skip the cutscenes, man. Like
repeats. There is a cutscene. There's a boss fight that's an interactive movie, and they make you do it twice. And something about that was so. The second time you fight a werewolf and you do the same stab, I was like, "Are you seriously repeating a movie?"
I love how one whole chapter is just a cutscene. It's like chapter 12, 5-minute cutscene. Chapter 13. I didn't play this chapter.
I wouldn't mind if they pursued that again, like that world, but
it ended on the greatest cliffhanger of all time.
They have to change up a lot.
To fight vampires, and the game just ends, and you become Batman.
It's a great game.
There's a cliffhanger, and there was rumors for a bit that they were trying to do an Order 1887 that was actually going to have co-op. And I was like, if that game had co-op, it would have been a better product.
This is Shinra saying, what do you guys prefer, Xbox style backwards compatibility for all games or remakes remastered for beloved games?
Can I have both?
Both? Yeah, both.
I don't know, the Final Fantasy VII stuff was pretty funny, so just do that to every game people love.
No, please. please no.
No.
That's a one-time deal, man. I don't want developers doing that. This man Barrett disappeared for the whole game, bro.
Yeah.
He's just disappearing and reappearing. Like, what? Excuse me?
Christopher says, I was playing Forza and having an amazing time. I love the game, but my parents made me stop. Oh, they were offended by the pinatas.
Oh, here we go. Pinatas.
You hit them and they go, "Aye."
Oh, good.
This is Brendan saying, regarding video games, we may never see the likes of cultural phenomenon the way Pokemon was ever again. You might be right. You might be right. I mean,
We get close.
Fortnite was, I mean, Fortnite's up there, right?
Even Minecraft is probably up there.
Minecraft, yeah. Yeah, I would say those are pretty close. I mean, they didn't necessarily go as far as Pokemon as like the worldwide phenomenon, but I mean, for video games, yeah, those were up there.
I would say Minecraft is not all the way there, but it could get. There's a Minecraft movie that's coming out, right?
I mean, there are entire Minecraft conventions, even like large.
Yeah,
ones, so.
Minecraft's the closest, I would guess, right?
I would say so. Yeah, I think Minecraft is the closest.
There's toys. There's everything.
I only think Fortnite because I see so much Fortnite merch. The amount of people I see wearing Fortnite costumes and stuff, and the skins and the events. I feel like that thing is such a cultural. The fact that they debut movie trailers,
and it did find its way into the
Fortnite.
mainstream. It did find its way into the mainstream. So
It probably just doesn't feel as big because they don't re-release like a new version of it every year or two.
That's
that
true.
Everyone has to then go and buy to continue playing
Fortnite
it.
X and Fortnite Y,
Yeah.
Fortnite
Yeah.
Shield.
And there's and they don't have like all this stuff. Like they don't have like a big popular trading card game and everything else. But
That you know of.
yeah, maybe
maybe
there's
they're gonna come out with one now.
There is a Fortnite card game. I think.
Oh, there is a.
There is.
Well, it's not as
Yeah.
Or I think
No,
it's a
it's-
collectible. It's a collectible thing.
It's huge right now. Some of those cards are going for big money.
What?
Is it as big as Pokemon? Is it as big as
Nothing's,
Pokemon?
nothing's ever going to be as big as
Oh.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well,
Shin-
except for Magic. But
Shinru says OJ is gonna hate me. Spawn, I really want to try Halo Infinite. And the Series S price is very tempting. I'll collect physical for Switch and PS4 still. Hey, you get that Series S and a Game Pass subscription, you're good to go. There you go.
Not a
Apparently,
fan.
that was like the most popular system for Black Friday, according to Adobe. That was interesting to see that.
I saw
It
that,
was-
but there's
yeah.
no numbers provided. That's why I saw it. I was like, well, where's the numbers? That's all I was looking at. I wanted
they
to see.
base it on like the searches. They did like a trillion searches on Black Friday, and this Xbox Series S was among the top 3 items, not just for gaming, of
Just
everything
in general, yeah.
on Black Friday. So I mean, Microsoft is either coming in with huge numbers in the November NPD in a couple of weeks, or Adobe's metric really needs some tuning.
I mean, it's also people just searching, probably just trying to figure out what a Series S exactly is. Doesn't mean they're necessarily buying, but I feel like they're like, okay, what is this exactly? I know I see the Series X,
Yeah.
but what is
That's
this?
what people. I was watching some stuff and some articles, and they're saying, "Oh, well, it sold the best over Black Friday." And I was like, "Okay, well, where's the number?" And then it pulled up his search results, and I was like, I got schmixed a little bit. I was like, "Okay, well, does that mean it's sold?" But I guess you guys explained it to me now. What you're talking about, like search results, like so people are just looking at it, but not necessarily buying it all the way, but just looking, right?
I mean, the hardest thing now is just get people look at your products. So I guess they got that step done. They got people looking at it, and the Series S is actually in stock more often than I'd say even almost the Switch now. It feels
it
like.
looks like it's in stock at GameStop, but it's sold out on numerous retailers, at least online. But some do have pickup in store.
I've seen a Series S before in stores. I have not seen an X, and I've not seen a PS5,
Yeah.
and I have not seen a Switch. I think I've seen that maybe once. Switch OLED.
I haven't seen a Switch OLED myself.
Yeah.
I've
It's
seen
like
maybe
just single
one. Like that was there when I came back, but
I see
for
Switch
the
lights
most-
a lot.
Yeah, Switch Lite. I see that a lot. Yeah, Switch Lite. I see a lot. But I've seen a Series S. My Best Buy actually had 2 of them. I was like, wow, there's 2 in the little thing there. So
I had a top comment on one of my videos recently where I was talking about some PS5 stuff, and someone said, I want to get a PlayStation 5. I'm mostly a PlayStation gamer, but after waiting a year, I keep seeing Series S's everywhere, so I bought a Series S. And I think a lot of people are like, they say that's their gateway to ray tracing. Like, all right, if I want to see these new features, that's the cheapest way
Maybe
to
that
do it.
price point is really coming
Price
through.
point.
I don't know. We'll see.
$300, yeah.
It's doing well for them in some of the emerging and secondary markets because it's affordable.
Yeah.
And they're seeing that the sales percentage is actually eclipsing the Series X. I believe in the UK, Series S is making up over 50% of sales, which part of it is because of supply. There's more S available than there
Telling
are
you,
X.
next generation, say goodbye to physical media. I've been saying this. It's gonna happen.
Could happen.
It's gonna happen.
Not gonna happen with Nintendo.
I didn't say Nintendo, but like Sony and Microsoft.
This is the last one.
It's out.
This is the last one.
It's out. Yeah.
Or maybe they make it. I don't know. Maybe they do a disc drive, but I wouldn't bank on it. I guess for the next gen.
I think at the very least, Microsoft's probably out.
Yeah, especially after all this Series S stuff. And if they can imagine how Game Pass will be in 10 years from now or something like that.
Look, and then Jeff says that Halo Infinite campaign runs well on the S. So there you go.
What about the VCR?
Oh, that's asking the real questions.
That's the real question we need an answer to, Grub.
DM me that gameplay, Grub.
Nate, you're gonna have to find out then, huh?
I'm sure Jeff has a VCR.
Fire says, I bought a PS4 for the Aura 1886 and wasn't disappointed. A PlayStation is just a first-party machine. Everything else plays better on the Xbox. Sorry, Max.
That's why I have an Xbox. I've been saying, what? Sorry, Max. That's why I own an Xbox.
Wait, did he say PS4 or did he say PS5?
PS4 for 1886. One's disappointed. PlayStation is. They just said they bought a PS4. I bought a PS4.
That wasn't true at the time. There was games that actually ran better on PS4 than Xbox.
Oh yeah, PS4 over Xbox One, but then the One X and PS4 Pro. I guess maybe that's
talking about that.
Like now, I've said this in multiple videos. Like I think Xbox Series X is the unbridled third-party machine. Everything looks better, runs better. Freaking quick resume is insane. The fact you can switch between open world games in a second.
When it works,
it works. It's weird. I want to play a game for months and months, and I'll just click back onto it, and it's still exactly where I left off, and I don't understand how that works with power outages, it being unplugged.
Yeah, I will say this:
it's the greatest feature of all time.
It is so cool. It's an underrated feature
for third parties out there, though. If you have good inclusion of that DualSense controller, I actually would be more inclined to buy a PS5 copy, even though if it doesn't run nearly as well as a Series X, if there are interesting uses of that controller.
Check out Quake.
Yeah. MVG took care of that. We got it. We're on it. Yeah, check it out. It's not an expensive game, but it's absolutely a classic. And there's some serious quality put into it. So check out Quake. Marty says never. I still buy my music on CD. And then Brendan says
CD. If you're
Series S,
you'd be buying vinyl.
Series S plus Game Pass is a great value. That's from Brendan. And I think that's everything. I'll go to Streamlabs, but while I'm doing that, we'll do some outros here. OJ, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, find me right here on YouTube. Shout out to all the new peeps coming over once again. I got a little subscriber boom, so I appreciate you guys coming through. Got some cool stuff coming up. Got some new shows that I'll be doing that I'm really happy to talk about next week. So you guys look forward to that on the channel. And I stream pretty much daily, so you guys can just check it out. Player Essence. I'm here all the time, talk about video games, making jokes. Jordan coming in here telling me that I'm broke, stuff like that. So it's great. Fantastic. So I appreciate that.
This is from Liam saying a few weeks ago, Jay said the Animal Crossing delay was because of crunch. If that was the case, they should have delayed again rather than releasing a product mostly inaccessible once servers go down. Cyberpunk has everyone justifying this stuff now. Animal Crossing delay was because of crunch. Oh, well, Doug Bowser said they didn't want their developers to crunch, and that's why they opted to delay it. They should have delayed again rather than releasing a product mostly. Oh, are you talking about the DLC that they released?
No, the original release of the full game was delayed.
No, they're saying they should have delayed again rather than releasing a product mostly inaccessible once servers go down.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Is the DLC require you to be online?
Well, the DLC is separate. It's not part of the game on the cartridge, I guess.
But like, what is he trying to say? I don't get what he's trying to say.
What did he want to delay it a year and a half so they could include the DLC on the game card?
Yes. Or all the extra events they did.
But the extra events are reliant on the internal clock and the internet, so they know it's like Christmas or Thanksgiving or 4th of July. So I don't understand.
The game isn't the game isn't server based. The game is, you can still play the full game on the game cartridge. I don't know what he's saying about servers going down. Like, what does he mean?
I see people in the chat.
I think it went down this past week because they were doing the update. But that's something different entirely. I would need like context to what they're actually saying here.
The only thing I can hesitate is I saw some Animal Crossing fans originally mad because it's missing a bunch of features that were in New Leaf. So a lot of people were hoping that it get delayed because now the stuff they've patched in is the original features from previous Animal Crossings just getting added back.
Yeah, I've always said, like, if you don't think it's worth, like, they showed you all the content beforehand. So if you don't think it's worth it, then just don't buy it. That's what I've like. If you don't think something's worth it at launch, or if it's not enough, then just don't buy it and buy it later. You might get a discount, or just don't buy it. But too many times they'll buy stuff and then say, oh, well, there wasn't enough. They showed you everything that was in the game. So that's what I do when I see it and it doesn't have enough for me. I don't buy it at launch, and I wait till it's a better price for me, or I wait till there's enough content that I think should be in there. So that would be my advice. Just don't get it.
Shinru says, I heard MVG is working with Insomniac to remaster Disruptor. MVG, care to comment?
No comment.
No comment. There we go. Dara says, drop $50 rebuying Folklore for the PS3. That game is that expensive right now? Think those games will... That spike will go back down at some point.
Do you want to know what game has like 10x'd in price?
Puppeteer?
50-cent Blood in the Sand.
Oh, it's gotta, right? If it was 50 cents, it's worth $5 now, right?
Why? Right now, because
no, it's not. Is it really?
Go to
the
take
Xbox got the FPS boost and everything.
So
that's that why. Game. You gotta boost. You gotta get those sales.
Oh my gosh! It did. My game is actually worth something now.
I thought Fiddy came out with a new album or something.
This is absolutely incredible. I'm so happy you just said this, MVG. My game over on that shelf right now is worse. Not on PS3, on Xbox 360. Okay,
my
good.
steel Xbox 360 copy is sitting
that is
right now.
phenomenal. Wow,
such trash. That game is absolutely
how much is it worth now? How much is it going for?
I mean, dude, these copies are going for over $100.
Oh wow.
A lot of the back compat games that were announced, the physicals have shot up in price, especially the ones that you can't get on the digital store anymore.
This one sold complete for $305.
John's in the Ellen.
Dude, this is incredible.
This was a game that was selling used for like 99 cents.
Now you just got to water grade yours. Oh, it's going to be crazy.
See, I just held long enough and it paid off.
This is the start of the Xbox 360 price
Scalpers
increases.
Market.
Yep.
I might sell some of mine, honestly.
Absolutely incredible.
Come on, Lost Planet, go up to like $400.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's see, MVG, where can everyone find you?
I got the game too.
Yep, a lot of people have the game.
OJ looking over at the shelf.
I got it on the Xbox. I just realized. Actually saw it. It's right down there.
Hey, that's an Oculus Quest 2 right there. All right, let's
go.
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. I got a Monday video about a PlayStation Portable PSP dev kit, so check out the channel. And other than that, next week I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm sure there'll be some interesting topics that come up.
Okay, what about Dreamcast Guy? Where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast Guy. It is going to be a very, very, very packed week this week. Reviewing this $300 PlayStation 5 controller. I'm checking out Spider-Man and Avengers, and I've been waiting to say this. I'm doing my top 10 worst games of the year on Wednesday, and oh my god, it was hard to pick, but we all know it's going to be Balan. But it's a long, crazy video.
Jordan, what about you, man?
You can find me over on my channel, Jordan Fringe. I have a big December planned. I'm not ready to... I'll probably announce it this upcoming week what I'm doing, obviously, since December's rolling up here. But doing some big things I've been working on for the past month and a half or so. For the channel, we passed 150,000 this past week, so I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has supported the channel. And yeah, I look forward to a lot of content in December, if you like the content I put out.
Okay, and then what about Evan?
You can follow me on Twitter, Kimmerix Project. Whenever I stream or if I'm doing anything, I'll usually post it there. This week on Twitch, we'll probably still be rotating between Battlefield and Genshin, mostly.
I like the Battlefield streams, by the way. It's been good stuff.
I've been ripping people apart in that game. It's great.
Then what about Nate?
Find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate. Right now, we have a podcast discussing the situation at Activision, as well as how Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony have their own skeletons in the closet regarding abuse and poor toxic worker culture. And next week, I'm sure we will have a topic. Potentially, we will do the Game Awards evisceration episode that we had discussed for last week, but we decided to go with the workplace condition topic instead. So maybe we'll rip into Jeff Keighley next week.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, that's going to do it here for SpawnCast. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you then.
Think for yourself.
Don't